Hey everyone, welcome to Dice on Ice. My name is Megan, and I am one half of this channel. Tonight, there's actually going to be two games running. I'm going to be running this game called Buried Alive, which is, I think it's a very interesting take on survival, and we'll be testing a bunch of new mechanics from our homebrew setting of Cryfoth, and tonight I have some awesome players who are willing to be subjugated to this horror. So I'll let them introduce themselves, and then we'll get started. So first we'll start with Nicholas.
Sorry, wrong window. My name's Nick. I'll be playing the Magnus Scratch, the human cleric of the desert.
Awesome. And Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul. I will be playing. Let's see. I play so many Cryfoth games. This is Charuku, and she is a hard skill Surrey bandit rogue.
Awesome. And Drake, go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm Drake. I run the YouTube channel, The RPG Construct, and I am half of the podcast Something RPG-ish with Jake Norman. Today I am playing a Susuri fighter, basically a kobold type called a Quickfoot archer named Yarp. This is my first journey into the world here for Megan and Connor, so we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Great. And last but not least, Zach.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'll be playing Freak, the Tiefling Sorcerer, which should be fun here in Cryfoth. Just ready to play.
Awesome. All right, so let's get started. Yarp, you feel something is pressing on your chest. A weight. You kind of open your eyes only to find that it's being covered with sand and dirt and grit. And as you try to move, stiff and uncomfortable, the ground you're laying on is very uneven. And what are you thinking? What are you going to do as you slowly come into consciousness? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, you said there was just like a weight pressing on my chest? Yeah. Do I know if is it like a solid weight, or does it feel like it's getting heavier, like somebody's like throwing dirt on me, like that kind of thing, or is it like a piece of wood? What does it feel like?
No, so it feels pretty steady, pretty solid. And as you maybe move a little bit, you can't really feel it shifting too much, as if it was like sand.
I think Yarp would just kind of try to shuffle, move his shoulders, and just probably unsuccessfully, and just kind of put his little clawed fingers up and try to push, and he's just not that strong, and maybe just whatever is there to kind of dig his claws in and just keep trying to and just nothing, and just I would think that his mouth would be dry, and he would almost make an attempt to yell or to say something, but it would just be met with just silence. He just kind of looking around, seeing if he could see anything, but just trying to put two and two together, having no idea what's going on.
Yeah, and so as you kind of do that, as you're moving, you can feel the kind of sand being kind of moved off of your face and off of your arms, and Magnus, you feel a shifting on top of you, like just kind of on like your right side, and it feels like it's alive. Maybe to kind of open your eyes, you can see the sky, but no sun, which tells you that it's not midday. What are you doing?
Well, I try to push my way up as much as I can, and maybe move this thing up with me. I don't know who this is or what it is, but I feel like maybe, we can help each other. So I try to push and, try to go towards the sky, because clearly this is uncomfortable. So
Yarp, you get pushed from underneath you, and it kind of pushes off this rock that was resting on your chest.
I'm sorry. You froze up there for a second. Push off what?
There was kind of a rock on your chest, and you kind of being put off of straight. It kind of rolls off of your chest.
And I think with that, he would just kind of do a, just kind of take a really deep breath and go, and just now that his lungs are full of air. What the hell? just breathing and breathing, and just kind of looking back, but like behind him. What's going on?
I'm assuming I can breathe as well without an issue.
Yeah, there's nothing blocking your airways or chest or anything like that. Just some dirt on your body.
When he says that, I respond with, "Oh, I'm not alone. Thank God. I think you're on top of me. We need to get up or something. I don't remember going to sleep here, so this is abnormal. So if we could possibly stand up and look about."
Stand up. Who are you? What? Why are we here?
Both excellent questions. I'm Magnus. I don't know where we are, and I don't know who you are. I hope you know who you are.
And with that, Yarp would sit up, if possible, Megan, and he would put his hand into this metal collar that he's wearing as a slave. This is a sign. Even though he's free now, he still wears this to remember. And he would kind of put his hand there, and he would kind of hold on to it and put his almost like put himself up and sit up, and he would just kind of stroke that collar just as like a comfort. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. And he would just sit up. He wouldn't completely get up or anything, but he's only 3 feet tall, so he's only like 1.5 feet off the ground anyway. But he would just kind of sit up and just look around and take in as much as he could. I mean, what does he see? Is Megan frozen for anybody else?
I think she froze for me as well.
Okay. Yeah, me as well.
Two Cryfoth games going at once. Uh-oh. She looks so serious in that, doesn't she? Right now?
Yes.
She's like, "Urgh."
Uh-oh.
Megan, why so serious?
Why so serious?
Oh, it's funny. She'll come back. Usually I'm the one with tech issues. I'm loving this. I can rub it in her face.
So you need other people to host the channel, then you won't have the tech issues.
Honestly, with me, it was terrible. I was doing like 0.2 megabytes a second on some of my games, and it just wasn't working. Now I'm at almost 100. So
So I remember watching some of them have problems.
Yeah, but that's all fixed now. We've got it good. It's really frustrating when you get everybody, scheduling with generally the people I play with is rough. And hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan. Hi, Megan. There's two Megans.
You're on your
Hello.
device.
Your face
Oh, no.
when you left locked in such a serious look. You're like,
It's such a scowl.
you're mad. When you get to watch the live stream later, you're gonna love the jokes that we made. I'm just saying, or that I made, whatever.
Okay. Well, let's hope I did something, and we'll hope that works. Anyway, all right.
What's
So
the last
Yarp,
thing
you
that
were, you were holding onto your collar.
Yeah, I was holding my collar, basically just kind of rubbing it. It's kind of my safety, my blanket, my security blanket. I've had it my whole life. And I just kind of sat up and just looked around, and I asked you what I saw.
So if you were to just sit upright, you would see dirt. And looking kind of above you, you see that you guys are in a hole that's, and it's probably only like a foot above the top of your head. It's not very deep.
Then I would, if I could see that it's that shallow, I would just start climbing up and trying to get out of this hole.
And so Magnus, what are you doing?
I would sit up, much like Yarp did, and look around and see if there's anyone else in the hole with us.
In fact, you do see bodies. You two were kind of the ones that were at the top most, but as you kind of look down, there's probably about 10 bodies. And one of them, maybe to your surprise, horror, gladness, begins to move. And Freak, you are jolted awake by people talking, and you find yourself in a very uncomfortable position, kind of sandwiched between two bodies with your upper torso kind of hanging out, face smushed into the dirt.
Okay, I think the first thing I'd do, Freak, being the delver he is, searching the runes he has for whatever books and whatever trinkets he could find, basically his entire life. He would instinctually look around for any partners he had with them recently, any companions, friends, and seeing people that he relatively knows, well, creatures more than people really. He would just kind of let out a little bit of relief, because that's a plus. And then panicking, he would kind of start reaching around his robes for a book he's had since he was a child that his grandpa gave him. And upon finding it, he would just smile, because, again, being a delver, he's been in many cave-ins before. This is nothing new for him. He knows what to do. He knows he conserves some of his spells for the day. And he would look back and say, "I'll be right back," and take gaseous form and begin moving around any cracks and crevices he can find to find his way out, to scout to see if there's anyone there that possibly were the ones that buried us, or if this was just somehow we fell in a hole.
So what you can see is this is basically just a hole, and it does have a top. It wasn't buried very well. More or less, some people put a few handfuls of dirt on top, either ceremoniously, or they were interrupted by completing out the full task. And I think this would create kind of like disrupt kind of the
She's froze up on me.
your on your leg as this pile kind of falls. So what do you do?
I'm sorry, you cut out basically that whole time on me. All I heard was hit on your leg.
Crap. Okay, let me try. Okay. So, okay, so, Chiruku, you find that your leg has kind of been pinned because of this unsteadiness of the this body pile. And this is actually the thing that wakes you up. So what do you do?
She starts hissing and she tries to grab whatever's on her leg and try to move it off of her.
Yeah, can you make a strength check for me, please?
And of course, I forgot to take out my dice. Strength check. 14.
Yeah, so you successfully kind of unpin your leg with the massive limbs that are intertwined and kind of heavy on it. You find that you were, kind of towards the bottom of this pile, and so all the weight is kind of on top of you. And upon looking around, you see that there seem to be 3 survivors, plus yourself.
And I start. How big is this hole that we're in?
It's probably about, I'd say, about 11 feet wide, and then probably about 6 feet high.
Okay, it's not that deep. Because I'm like 7-8 feet tall. I'm pretty big for a hard scale. I don't know what height they get. So I start climbing out.
Yeah, and you climb out and you see, I think, but Zach, or but Freak, sorry, who is in gaseous form. As you are looking around, besides this hole, all you see is sand.
Sorry, if you cut out a bit. You're muted. I don't know.
Sorry. So where did I leave off?
You said I came out and I don't know what I saw. What do I see when I get out besides Freak?
Okay. So you see everyone except for Freak, a gaseous form. You see them all kind of standing outside, and other than this hole, there's just sand. As the eye can see, your initial is just sand and dunes, and that's it.
So I look around. Anything that I So I look around. I check my bag, my stuff. I have nothing on me, and I start looking around for something to be used as a weapon. My first instinct is survival, and first thing is I need a weapon.
Yeah, can you give me a kind of like an investigation check?
Okay, investigation. 21.
And so as you look around, you see a half-buried, rusted, not even, usable as what it is, which is a shovel. It's kind of serrated. It kind of has come off to a point at the shovel, and right next to it, you see footprints leading away from the hole.
So you said, so shovel with the blade fell off? Or so?
No, the blade, part of the blade rusted off, and so it kind of cracked into a tip, kind of to a point.
So like a spear, I guess, type thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. So yeah, now that I have a weapon, I'm looking around for any hostiles. If I see, I'm trying to remember the names. Freak I don't see. Yarp. So if I see Yarp, I don't consider him a threat, and probably don't consider Magnus much of a threat. So I'm looking for anything else, any hostiles.
Yep, there's nothing, and I don't know if I cut out before then, but I also said that there were footprints just to the right of the shovel. I don't know if you caught that.
I whisper, there are footprints here. You two, get up here. Use some help.
And I'm reasonably sure I'm the only one left in the hole right now who's alive. The rest of these seem to be dead, so I'd be happy to join you up there. And I climb out of the hole.
Typical heart scale. Bigger than everyone, dumber too. Trying to tell everyone what to do. Won't tell Yarp what to do. Yarp does his own thing.
Well, I'm never one to tell other people what to do, but you're already out of the hole, so. But these footprints.
He was actually talking to Paul.
Yeah, Charuku hisses at Yarp.
And because of his slave background, he, according to the playtest, Megan, he never looks like a threat. He can blend into anything. He's also extremely tiny. Just due to his background and his size, no one would think him a threat until it was too late. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. You would look extremely small and mild for what is considered strong in Kryphoth. As Magnus, you emerge from the hole. You feel the dryness in your mouth. You feel the hunger in your stomach. And you, along with Freak, you guys will both enter the first level of dehydration and hunger, which for dehydration is you have a disadvantage on initiative checks, and for hunger, you only recover half of your grit points after a short rest. For you, Yarp and Charuku, you do not suffer any of this because you're Sasuri.
Well,
So go ahead.
it's a bit dry out here, but one is to expect that. These footprints, I would like to take a look at the footprints and try to see like maybe which direction they go, as far as like maybe any sort of orientate, like trying to orient myself, or maybe identify what these or who these footprints possibly belong to.
Yeah, give me an investigation check, please.
I would like to basically look over his shoulder, not letting on that I could probably figure it out myself if I can do a check as well. But is that okay if I do a check as well, looking over his shoulder?
Sure.
I got a terrible 7.
Hey, I beat you with a 10.
So both of you know that these tracks are heading kind of southeast of you guys, but you can't quite discern the footprints themselves. You can discern that there was more than one number of how many there were. And Freak, what are you doing?
All right. So as I step out of the ground, I was fully prepared to start digging my companions out here because Freak's not much for fighting. He's more of a pacifist and wants to find his books and stuff. That's all he really wants to do. That's why he stays with the big brutish barbarians like these. But seeing that one of them has pushed their way out of the ground, they're all beginning to climb out. He would take solid form, check on his book, and check to see what kind of footprints we were looking at, along with the others.
Since I didn't really know you were in gaseous form, as soon as you become solid, I'll spin around and point the broken shovel right at you.
Just put up my hands and say, no. It's just me. It's just me.
Who are you?
Freak? I believe we've met once before.
Yeah, that tiefling. I do a little bit of a mental note since I am the Wastelander background. I try to identify if Freak is poisonous to eat. If I've ever eaten a red tiefling.
And noticing,
yes.
And I would notice the way he was looking at him, and I would know what that means, being the same type of creature. And I would be planning for what I would do after he killed Freak.
Karuku, yes, you would get quite ill if you tried to eat Freak, and you know that.
There's as soon as you say, we know each other, and I'm looking at you almost like I might attack, but then look like a little bit of disappointment on her face, and she puts the spear down and she goes back to the tracks.
Yarp, you see kind of in the distance, kind of opposite to the tracks, you see water in the distance. A pool.
Okay. Do I have anything on, Megan? I mean, am I just bare ass to the world, or?
You have your just some basic traveling cloths. All of you do.
Do I have anything? Sorry, go ahead.
Anything that was, worth anything would have been taken.
You said that the hard scale took the broken shovel. Can I get the other piece that he didn't grab?
Yes,
Okay.
but it doesn't have a handle on it. It's just the blade that was broken off. So it might cut your hand if you grip it too hard.
Well, I just want to hold on to something. So I'll stand up, walk over to that piece, kind of grip it, and just kind of hold it in my hand gingerly, trying to be careful, and just try to get the feel for it. And then I would just kind of look at everybody, just go and start very confidently walking towards the water, paying no attention to those people there.
And what did the rest of you do?
I would like to inspect the bodies and see maybe how they died.
You can see that they were seemingly attacked by something. A lot of them have claw marks. Some have what look to be piercing wounds. Very grisly deaths.
So more like that there was combat and not that they were like poisoned or like snuck up upon.
Yeah, no, there was definitely a fight, definitely a combat, but not anywhere near here.
Okay.
And it seems as though the wind has blown away any tracks approaching the hole. So the ones leaving the hole must have been fairly recently.
Freak would immediately start looking to see if they had any water skins or anything like that on them.
No, you find nothing.
Okay, fair enough.
How long have the bodies been dead?
A few hours tops. It's kind of hard to tell because of, the sun and the bacteria. It all, quickens decomposition. So, but you think maybe a few hours.
Well, it's not so much how they look, it's how edible do they look.
How many are there again, Megan?
So there's 8.
Oh, that's quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can go for it. They might be not the health, like, not totally not poisonous.
Before we decide to eat them, Freak would insist that we gather around one of the bodies. He's going to extract water from the bodies and just kind of have them drink directly from it using another spell.
Sure.
And Megan, while they're doing this, Yarp is actually just kind of increasing his speed. He's got a 40 movement speed anyway, because I took the mobile feat. And he's actually going to try to get as far away from these guys towards the water as possible while they're screwing around with these bodies.
Yeah, and as you're moving, I need you to make an intelligence saving throw, please.
I didn't hear that there's water. Whoops.
Sorry, how is my audio for everyone?
Now it's fine once we shut off our video.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Same.
Okay.
So, Yeah, you probably cut out when you said water. I rolled a 19, Megan.
So with you running towards it and the water not getting any closer, you come to realize that this is a common trick that the desert likes to throw called a mirage.
Oh, poo. I think I would probably stop and I would just sigh because I knew better than that. I've been here before, been in this area before. And I would turn back, look at the guys still mulling over the dead bodies in the hole, probably 100 feet behind me now, and go, fine. I would turn back and gingerly, not quickly, but not slowly, but definitely I'm not trying to get there quickly, if you know what I'm saying. See what they're doing.
Yeah, sure. And Freak, you were casting extract water?
Yeah.
All right. So where would you like to transport it?
I was hoping I could kind of directly transport it into our mouths at the moment, since we don't have anything to store it in.
Sure. Roll a 1d6. See how much gallons
I got a
you
1.
get. So you get 1 gallon. You get to choose whose mouth this water goes into.
Um,
A gallon of water? It's a lot of water.
That is a lot of water going to one person's mouth.
well, I mean, knowing how thirsty he is, he doesn't know about the different Surrey folk over there. He's gonna be selfish. He's gonna drink it himself for now.
So as you know, a mouth can't hold 1 gallon.
Right.
So as much of it as you can, as you can kind of hold in your mouth, and I would assume that you will kind of choke on it because all this water just comes down instantly on you and it just falls to the ground. A lot of it. You do get, the some in your mouth and down your throat. But yeah, a lot of it comes running down.
He's just trying to get the dryness out of his throat at the moment for as much as he can.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say that with that, your thirst goes back down to quenched.
Okay.
So the rest of you see this. The rest of you see this water just all kind of flow over this guy, most of it. And now he's kind of drenched. And there's a lot of water into the sand, evaporating very quickly. What do you guys do?
Am I back over there yet, or am I still far away?
Yeah, I'd say you could get over there.
I would probably take a couple steps. I'm probably only come up to his waist, but I would take a couple steps and I would grab his clothing that he was wearing, kind of the tattered traveling clothes that are now drenched. And I would grab kind of a handful and I would squeeze it into my mouth to get some of that water. And then I would actually begin to lick the clothing that I'm holding. And then maybe, because I got that kind of, serpentine forked tongue, some of that I'm actually kind of licking him too, and probably coming across really creepy.
It's okay. Freak's totally cool with it. He used to live with Fiend, so he's more focused on he just got drenched with water, so he's holding his book out and trying to shake it out, make sure it doesn't get soaked.
Charuko's just laughing, well, more of a hissing, I guess, at what's going on, and just like, that is wasteful, first of all, but then sees I'm trying to remember the names now. Yarp come up and just starts laughing. It's like
Freak would speak up and say, I was gonna try to share, but The desert sun's drying him out too quickly.
You've not used that spell very much before, have you? You must have known it wasn't going to work that way, right?
Usually I have skins or something. It seems they've stolen them all off of me.
Yes. Well, that tends to happen when you're robbed and thrown into a shallow grave, as we apparently were. By the way, I don't think we've all been properly introduced. I'm Magnus.
Yarp.
They call me Freak.
Charuko.
All right, then. Now that we all have names attached to our faces, mayhaps we should figure out how to exactly get out of this predicament. We seem to be stranded in the middle of nowhere, no water, no food, no weapons, no belongings whatsoever. I mean, the desert tends to provide for those who worship, as I do, but it takes as much as it gives as well. So,
And Nick, while you're doing that, Yarp has not stopped licking you. You're doing this whole like soliloquy, this whole monologue, and he's just trying to get as much water as he can. Megan, do I get any water from all this?
From licking Freak?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
from sucking on his clothes.
Wait, so
Yeah.
are you sucking on Magnus or Freak?
I'm sorry. Whoever's covered in water, I'm sorry. I thought
Freak. Yeah, that's Freak.
okay. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I mean, it's still weird, but
maybe I imagine that he's listening and he's looking at the person talking, but the whole time he's just like sucking on those clothes and just licking them the whole time.
Right. So, do you think we should follow these footsteps? I mean, that's clearly the way they went. I'm not 100% sure I would like to encounter the people who apparently have, attacked us from behind exactly, but, it's the only direction we really have to go in.
I was just wondering if I could figure out if Charuko could figure out where they are in relation to where they were, if they're close by, or what.
What do you mean close by? Close by to what?
To where we were before we got ambushed, I guess, or whatever happened to us. I guess the night before or something.
Yeah. So, okay, roll me a. I'd probably say survival.
Works for
just
me.
to see if you can kind of orient yourself using any familiar landmarks.
With my +6, I got an 11.
So you can kind of tell that you are actually a bit closer to the ultimate destination of Freeport than you were when you were attacked. Although when you were attacked, things kind of got fuzzy, so you're not really sure how close or far. You'd say probably like I'd say a quarter of a day. Someone dragged you that far for some reason.
And do the footprints look like they're heading in the same direction?
Yes, they look like they are heading in the direction that you were set out before.
And that was Freeport, right?
Yes, you are all pilgrims trying to find your way to the mystical city of Freeport.
Looks like I think we're actually a little closer to Freeport than we were last time last time I remember, I think, but looks like the footprints are heading in the same way. You can follow me if you want. And Charuko just starts heading in that direction.
Before you get too far ahead, I feel like we should stick together. And because of that, I have something that I believe shall help. Now, if we all gather close, I will present an offering of faith to the desert to protect us. And I will use my channel divinity, endure the elements.
And this is where I ask Megan, does that give us 4 times for to Suri? Suri? Because
No.
normally, no. So it doesn't. I look at it and it's like I just keep walking because it's. I have no use for these magics right now, and I keep going.
Well, all right then. Either way, I present my offering of faith, and I pick up some sand and kind of rub it between my hands, and then say a small prayer and scatter it about on top of the people who are willing to take the offering. And for the next 6 hours, we get a benefit. So.
Yeah, so it would only be yourself and Freak who would get the benefit from the channel divinity.
Okay.
I'll take it. So what exactly is happening?
So effectively, what happens for the next 6 hours, we last twice as long before advancing in levels of hunger, thirst, fatigue, and sickness. So basically, like when normally the thing would advance further, it won't until it would happen again. Effectively, we last twice as long.
Okay. Megan, would that count? Oh, well, never mind.
And so, Freak, I would like you to roll a d12, please.
Oh no.
Oh, actually, it would affect us for the fatigue part.
Yes, it would.
Okay.
I got a 10.
So you feel this pain in your side, and your vision goes kind of blurry, and the world seems to be tilting. And all you can think of is blood.
Right.
And how much you want it. How much you need it. And you take 2 points of fatigue. Which means you can no longer cast spells that require concentration, and your grit is reduced to 0.
So I pass out.
No, you just, I would think you would just, I mean, you can describe to me what happens, what that looks like to the others.
So basically, he's just starts trudging behind you guys, and after a little bit, he'll start darting his eyes around, looking, hoping and praying for some reason that there'll be anything out there that whether you guys know what happens to tieflings or not. He's looking for fiends because his addiction is just getting to him all of a sudden. It's a sudden withdrawal, a sudden impulse. It's all he needs. And then he just kind of drops to his knees and starts panting harshly. And if he doesn't faint or pass out, he'll get back up reluctantly and start and try to continue trudging forward. And he'd ask out loud, "Do any of you know where a demon nest might be?"
Why would we want to go to a demon nest?
I'm afraid I won't be much use to you until we find one.
Would you be use with one?
Yarp would chuckle at that.
Yeah. Yes, I need. He looks embarrassed for a minute. I need to drink their blood. It's what sustains me.
Did you ever pull Yarp off of you? Because he was still going to town on your clothes. I never said that I stopped doing that. Just saying.
Again, he doesn't care. He lives. He as he just said. He hunts fiends for their blood. He's fine with you licking him.
Well, with that, I think you saying that, I would kind of look up at you very kind of curiously, huh? And like take a few steps back and just kind of look at you, just disgusted.
He'll look at you and smile and say, "Where did you think tieflings came from? Virgins?"
He would just shake his head. He wouldn't respond.
Well, there's a bit of a complication. We're trying to find a demon den or what have you. In that we're, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's nothing around for as far as we can see except for this path of footprints. Honestly, I don't feel very safe in my own abilities to go wandering off in an aimless direction to find what you need for right now. That being said, if we happen to come across one that doesn't seem to be too far out of our pathway, I don't see a real issue beyond the fact that we are ill-equipped as far as objects, as far as supplies to be able to take on that kind of fight. So, I'm sorry, but as helping you get demon's blood would be very difficult for us. Or at least very difficult for me. I don't know about the other two, but...
He looks at you guys and says, "It doesn't have to be any archdemon. A lesser fiend would do just fine. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath and says, I just really, really need it."
Well, you see, at this point, Charuko has stopped, and he's like, What use are you even with this demon blood?
He he looks at you and produces this just some kind of small minor illusion, maybe a bird or something, and it says magic, and then lets it fade quickly.
Charuko doesn't seem that impressed with that.
And actually, Yarp would actually go over to you, Paul, and he would actually kind of just look up at you, stand, you're 9 feet tall or 8 feet tall. He's 3. He would just kind of look up, and he would just kind of take one of his clawed fingers and just poke you in the leg. Be like, yeah, he tastes like magic.
It don't get that big of a taste. They're poisonous.
Sometimes.
Now, would I know of any demons in the area? Any minor ones or something? Any creatures?
Actually, Yarp. So, Charuku, being someone who is out in the desert all the time, you have probably only ever seen maybe one demon. They don't usually come out to the wastes too much, just because there's just not enough living things to feed on. But Yarp, you would know, being a slave, that through Freeport and around it, there are what are called the, Hell's Heart, which is just a city of demons. And each of the 7 devils lives there in their capital, kind of in their fortress.
And do I know where we are now in relationship to that?
Well, you know that you are heading towards Freeport, and Freeport you would have to pass through some of these capitals.
Right. Okay.
But you have no idea how far away you are from Freeport, or from Hell's Heart. You can't see really much. But the other thing you know is that you don't go into these cities. Once you go in, you really don't come out.
Right. Although I would think as a slave, in the slave pits fighting, as Yarp has done, I think that he may have at one time or another been to these cities, fought, won, and was taken out because he was just brought in there to fight for sport. So I think that
absolutely.
maybe he would have that information. So with that, I think he would just kind of look at everybody, and just kind of getting his voice back and everything for after he's been drinking the water and licking Freak. He would just say something like, demons. Demons. Yeah, in the pits, there's many demons. But to survive, you have to. I had to win the pits. I had to beat everyone. You don't want to go there. You wouldn't last there. It's far too dangerous for someone like you.
But demons are stupid. We could easily lure one out.
And he would just kind of giggle because Jarp is not that bright. He knows what he's been through and he's a hell of a fighter, but he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. And he would say, he would hear demons are stupid, and he would just kind of smile, like not really sure what to say to that, because he's pretty stupid too. And just get beyond Freeport, past Freeport. Yarp win there. Yarp knows the way, but long way. No, demons are bad idea. We shouldn't go there. Definitely should not go there.
Sharuko, the smartest one here. Leave the tainted warm blood, and let's go. You, human one, you come with us. Let's go.
Where?
I see no reason to leave him behind. He can come with us as long as he can carry his own weight. I haven't the strength to carry him, nor do I ask you to do that as well. As far as demons being dumb or whatever, maybe they are dumb. I don't know. It doesn't matter because they are still powerful. Again, so attacking demons not entirely the best way to do this. So I say again, if we happen across a lesser one that we might be able to take on, perhaps we can slay it and you can drink its blood. But I believe our best bet is to keep going on our way.
Need weapons. Need weapons to fight demons, to fight anything. Find weapons first.
Yes, Yarp has the right idea. We should find to arm ourselves and, replenish our resources. So if you can get up and keep moving, all the better. But unfortunately, with no supplies on us whatsoever, we really can't do much for your blood satiation.
Freak will just nod and say, as long as I can stand, I can try to fight.
And that's all anyone can ask for. So if you are right to keep walking, I did give you a blessings of the desert. That should help some. But let us be on, and hopefully we come across something that should be of aid to us.
Yeah, Megan, I was gonna ask real quick. That the fatigue that I get with that roll, would his blessing do anything for that, or because it's the withdrawal, he just takes it?
No, because it's the withdrawal, not from natural causes, you would take the whole thing.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, it's less of like you actually get fatigue from sleepy and from being sleepy, rather than that's how you feel, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys are going to follow the tracks?
I believe that was the plan.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So you guys,
might follow the tracks, but we're going to head towards Freeport, which currently is the same direction.
yes. So you guys start following the tracks. Thankfully, the heat of the day has gone, and it is getting into nightfall. And you guys begin to feel the chill in the air. A cold wind comes across. And you guys are walking for a few hours. And you come across another shallow grave. This time, there are two in this grave. And you see that they were part of the pilgrimage that you guys were a part of. Two ash elves.
Well, it seems like they had more to bury for some reason.
Are they also without any equipment?
Upon searching through them, you do find one water skin and a dagger.
I hand the dagger to Yarp, and I keep the water skin for myself. Is there water in it, or is it empty?
It is empty, and upon inspecting it further, you see that it has a small hole at the bottom, which is probably why it was left behind.
And Yarp would take the dagger. Megan, what does this dagger look like? If as I'm inspecting it, what do I notice?
You notice that this dagger is made out of black obsidian.
You've got a text message.
Which
Apparently
is
Freak got a text message.
My bad, guys.
It's
Sorry.
yeah, no worries. It's the Blade of Fiends. You know that much. In the pits, that's what the tiefling slavers carried on them, is these obsidian blades.
And I would think that holding one of these would definitely bring back some memories, and you would see him just kind of stare off into space and kind of remembering all the times he was beaten or cut or stabbed with this thing, to either when he was training to fight or when he just didn't do well or something like that. And holding one of these is probably pretty surreal for him. I don't think he's ever touched one before, but once that moment passes, he grabs it and just kind of tucks it into his belt, and he looks up at the heart scale and just nods with a very kind of half grin from his kind of reptilian jaws.
Now, is there... Actually, I look over at Freak and I go, all right, you say magic? Fix this.
He looks at you and kind of looks at the ground and says, "Well, I could pull the water out of the body, but I never learned the magics to mend things."
I look at the other. See? Useless. But I keep the water skin on me.
Freak would say, "If I'm so useless, then you fix it."
Actually, what he's going to do... So you said it's nighttime now?
Yes.
Being a cold-blooded creature, I'm starting to feel it's getting a little colder, and she's getting a little sluggish. I'm saying maybe we rest here for the night, and so we can stay in the pit.
It's as good as. It's probably better to stay inside of the pit, although we should probably move the bodies out of the pit. I don't feel it necessary to sleep next to a corpse.
We can cook some of the meat. It's not safest to eat meat after it's been sitting out in the sun for so long, but we can cook it and eat it.
Do you have the materials to start a fire?
We have bodies. They burn for a little while.
Now, using maybe the knife or something, can I try to start a fire using maybe some of their, like some dried clothing or something, and try to start a fire? Is there any wood or anything in here? Anything?
No.
Anything?
No.
Flammable? No.
This is
Well,
where
I mean, the clothes that they're wearing, yes.
This is where Freak would laugh and cast a fireball on one of the bodies to try and get it burning.
Yeah. I'm just going to say it starts burning. It's pretty dry, so it's pretty easy to start things on fire.
On one of the bodies. Okay, that works. There's still
Wait,
enough
was the
meat.
body still in the hole? Or did you guys take it out?
I think we would have taken it out, like, 'cause we were emptying it out a bit. Unless you cast it while it was
Okay.
still in there.
No. I would have waited until someone dug it out first.
Okay. Then yeah, so now you have a burning corpse, and it smells
Lovely.
strangely nice.
Smells like cooking meat.
Delicious.
I'd start cooking parts of the other body over that body.
Yeah, I grab ash shells aren't that meaty, but beggars can't be choosers. I think you want
Bone marrow. Bone marrow is very nutritious.
You're telling me? And then you could save one of the bones and use it as a club.
Yarp would just be he would, as you're cooking things, he would try to be grabbing just hunks of meat, just grab it and then walk several feet away and just stuff it in his mouth and hide, and then kind of sneak back and grab it either out of some people's hands or just grab it off the fire. Maybe it's even a little bit too rare for most people, but he's going to shove it in his mouth. He's going to get the food when he can get the food, having known that he has always had to take advantage of when food is available to stuff himself.
Freak's starting to take a liking to Yarp, and he's going to invite him over to the fire and say, "No, you're no longer a slave. You can join us. It's okay. We won't take your food from you."
Yeah, Yarp would just kind of look at you weird. He would continue to do what he's doing, talk as much as you want to him. He doesn't trust you.
Fair enough. I mean, tieflings were the slavers, so okay.
Chiruka stays close to the fire without, as close as she can without actually being in it. Being cold-blooded, she wants to stay as warm as possible in the nights.
Yeah, I need all of you to make a 2 percentile rolls. Because you cook the food, you get an advantage on the food drink effect roll table, so you can take the better option.
I being
2 percentiles, you said?
about
Yeah.
being iffy about eating another sentient creature. I don't think Magnus partook of eating the ash elves.
Okay. Then you don't have to roll, obviously. So a good roll would be anything under a 60.
Nope. Oh, well, okay.
Under a 60?
Yes.
No good for me.
I got a 47 then.
Yeah, 37.
That'd be 68.
Yeah, so okay.
See, demon blood is good. Bodies are not for you.
It's the wrong kind of meat.
Yeah, so both of the Sasuris are used to eating, their immune systems have kind of gotten used to eating the tainted meat that just comes from the food and the drink in Cryfoth. But Freak, unfortunately, we're gonna have to change this because this causes an effect that we haven't created yet. So I'm gonna get you to roll a d20 on the Desert Madness table.
Okay, I don't have the madness table pulled up at the moment, but I'll...
Yeah, just roll a d20 and I'll let you know.
I got a 10.
10. So, this is going to last you 4 minutes. And for 4 minutes, you know who you are, but you don't recognize any of the people you are with or anything before the pain in your head started, which is when you rolled. So as soon as you take a bite, this happens, and I'll let you kind of describe that if you'd like.
Again, for the second time, you guys see his eyes start darting around. This time they'd cross, and he'd close them and grab his head and just kind of lean over and just start rocking back and forth, waiting for this misery to end. So he's not coming off very well to you guys just yet.
So yeah, that's going to last for about 4 minutes. So the rest of you are just kind of settling in for the night?
As best as possible.
Yeah.
Is anyone going to keep watch, or is everyone going to bed?
Should do a watch, and what I do is I rip off some of the clothing from one of the bodies, and I hand it to Yarp and say, wrap it around that blade, that first one you found. What would that first blade, I guess the shovel head or whatever, what would that be comparable to?
Just a dagger. Or even a rapier. Yeah, probably a rapier to Yarp.
Short sword at least.
Yeah, so I wrap it around. You got yourself another weapon.
Yeah, I think I would probably look at both of them and find that the dagger is significantly more, it's an actual weapon versus like a makeshift one. And he would be all about what's efficient, and he wouldn't want to carry both of them. So he would probably wrap, like he said, and he would hold both of them up and kind of look at them, and then just decide to just drop the shovel.
I look at Magnus and say, "There you go. You're next in line."
So yeah, with Freak going through withdrawal, I think he would probably sit up, and even with his exhaustion or his fatigue, he would probably be one of the ones to keep watch.
I'll take the makeshift dagger then, and state to Charuku.
Or Char.
Char. I think Magnus would use your full name because he feels that he should. So he says, "Thank you, Charuku. Though I don't necessarily need a weapon, it is appreciated that you think of me in these dire times we find ourselves in."
The less I have to worry about you to keep you safe, the better.
I shall remember this in case you do get wounded and need some stitching back up, as it were. Awkward silence.
I think that Yarp at this, I think he's very full. You can probably see he's got the little like food baby going on in his little belly, and I think he would try to kind of huddle up, kind of crawl into like the fetal position next to this burning body, just all full and happy with his dagger in his hand, and just you could see it that his eyes slowly close as he goes to sleep with this little smile on his face.
So, sorry, is Magnus taking who's taking the first watch? Me or someone else? Well, it's not Yarp. He's asleep.
Yeah,
I should take first watch.
Freak would already be sitting up even after the sounds in his head. He's going through withdrawal. He can't sleep at the moment anyway.
Okay, so I just need to know who's taking first watch and who is going to take last watch.
I guess I'll take the last watch.
I'll take the first.
All right. And the rest of you fall asleep. Magnus, you are just surrounded with the sound of the desert at night, which is when it seems to come alive. The skittering of different insects across the ground, the howling of something in the distance. Maybe even the sound of a fight between two creatures. And all these sounds seem to surround you all. But your watch ends, and then the next, and then the next watch. And then finally, Shiruku, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw to see if you stay awake for your whole watch.
Oh boy. Even with my +3? 7.
So, Chiruku, you find yourself
That's a court-martial.
dozing. You find yourself dozing, unable to stay awake. Maybe it's the heat, maybe it's the food that you haven't had for a long time. And you all wake up to a roaring sound in your ears, just and who would be the first to wake up?
Can I say me?
You may not be first, but
Yeah.
Freak's on edge. He'd wake up quickly.
Yeah, I'm going to scratch that. I'm actually going to let you guys make initiative rolls, please.
Can I purposely fail? Because I don't want to wake up. I don't think no matter how loud it is, I don't think Yarp would wake up. I think he's used to screaming and yelling and loud noises. He's just going to sleep.
Yeah,
Can I
for
do that?
sure.
All right.
Yep.
He's sleeping.
Magnus? Okay. Yeah, so, Freak, you are the first to wake up. And as you look around you, it's bright. The dawn is quickly approaching. And also in the distance, you see this large column, this wall of sand.
Okay, trying to think of something he could do that'd be somewhat useful here. I guess, yeah, the first thing he would do is start waking everyone up, including Yarp. And just So essentially, are we looking at a dust storm coming towards us?
Yeah, a massive sandstorm.
Okay, so he's gonna, as soon as he gets everyone somewhat roused, he's gonna start digging down even further in the sand to try and make some kind of shelter. He knows he can get out of a pit. He obviously, we all just did it the previous day, so rather than get pelted with debris, he'd rather get down low.
Yeah, and the first person you wake up is Chiruku, who was supposed to be on watch, who may have seen this sandstorm coming.
Yeah, we'll deal with that later.
I thought it's not the cleric.
Oh, I apologize. It's Magnus.
No problem. So Magnus wakes up in a bit of a startle. He's like, "Oh, what is it? What's going on? What is that god awful noise? Oi! Oh, my head."
You're gonna hear Freak as he's waking everybody up. Oh, sure. He falls asleep on his watch. I start the fire, but I'm the useless one, and just start digging.
Oh, right. That's awkward. Sandstorm. Awesome. That's not great. Did anyone wake Yarp up? Yarp, please, if you could get up. We need to avoid a giant wall of sand coming at us.
And Megan, is it still dark, or is it light out yet?
It's light out. It's kind of like in the twilight, or sorry, dawn hours.
I think Yarp would know that you don't want to be caught in a sandstorm during the day. So I think that he might actually jump back into the hole just to get some cover from the storm. I don't think there's any, unless I can see somewhere else for us to shelter. But I think he would just look and kind of go wide-eyed and then just jump in the hole.
Yeah. So Yarp, when you do a quick scan, you see the hole obviously, and then you can also see that a few, probably about 100 feet ahead of this flat landscape, there's a sudden dip. There's a sudden kind of drop off, and
Right.
that may be a dried lake riverbed, but you're not sure.
Then I think Yarp would. I don't know. I think he would just kind of look to Paul. He would look to the heart scale and just kind of try to see what he wants to do. Yarp really doesn't want to lead. He's used to being told what to do. So I think he would just wait for what everyone else is going to do.
Okay, and Chiruku, you wake up in this frenzy of your companions moving about.
Yarp is more of a city Susuri, and Chiruku's more of a desert Susuri. Okay, I guess with my survival instincts, what would be the best course of action for a sandstorm? Is it?
I was thinking the same thing as well. I was trying to figure out like what would be the best if rolling survival or what have you would give us that answer.
Yeah, for sure. Roll survival and yeah.
Okay, only at 25.
Oh.
23.
Yeah, so you both kind of know that, getting cover is the best bet. Kind of, making sure that you are kind of braced against a wall so that, as little of you is exposed as possible. You would need to dig down into this hole, into this pit. It's not very deep. And the riverbed, if that's what it is, may provide a little bit more cover. So in this case, I think it would be completely up to you two whether you'd want to go into the riverbed or if you want to dig down into the hole, but you cannot do both. You have to choose one.
Guess The riverbed is probably deeper than this hole, from what I might know. Is that safe
Yeah,
assessment?
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a safe assessment.
Okay, then I don't say anything, and I just start running towards the riverbed.
It might be worth noting that Freak has already begun digging in this hole.
And I don't. That doesn't change anything.
Fair enough.
I think basically coming to the same conclusion as Chiruku. Magnus would not necessarily just take off running, but he would start moving and like give a whistle, and just like and try to get Yarp and Freak's attention and try to motions to them like follow us, go this way. Because I'm assuming this whole time it's probably getting louder and louder and louder as the sandstorm is probably getting closer. So it's going to eventually be very difficult for us to even hear each other in close distances. So
Yarp would just be following the hard scale. He really wouldn't say anything. He would just follow whatever he's doing.
okay, yeah, then I would be right along with them.
Yeah, in between looking up at the storm, seeing how close the storm's getting, and looking down where he's digging, he's going to see them take off, and he's just going to follow suit. Freak is, sorry.
Would it be possible to, as part of, not that I'm wearing much clothing, but to have like a dust veil or something?
I would think that you could probably rip off a bit of the little amount of clothing and kind of give up a bit of decency to kind of create.
I don't think Susuri, there isn't much in the way of decency. It's not like they have any thing to cover up, I guess. But sure, yeah, I rip part of my whatever I'm wearing, and I'll put it up over. I tie it up around my face as best. Well, my nose and stuff.
Yeah, awesome. So all of you guys run towards this dip in the sand, and upon reaching it, you do, thankfully, it is a dried up riverbed that kind of expands perpendicular to where you guys are running. And you guys kind of all hunker down into it, and it's just in the nick of time, because as you guys brace yourselves, the sand comes overhead, and that's when we're going to take a break.
Huzzah.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah, quick bio break for everyone, so go do what you have to do, and we'll be right back.
Will do.
I'm back.
What do you think of the game so far?
I'm having fun. The game that I'm DMing for is like 3/4 of the way through, so I might do like a future thing that probably takes place in a Crypath light setting, be much harsher, depending on how well they do with their campaign currently, which is not going great.
That's always. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Well, that's not true. They did just kill a purple worm, so, which is impressive. They're like 5th level, so yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun. I'm sorry if my accent and/or voice changes. I have a hard time keeping it consistent, so I try to keep them relatively light. So,
Tell me about it. My players all the time get after me for it because I had one character within one session that had an Irish, a Scottish, a German, all sorts of different accents. I couldn't remember which one I was using with them.
right.
So many NPCs.
I literally had a character. I started at level 1 with he had a Russian accent, and then eventually, after so long, like I just started losing the accent, or it kept devolving into other things. And at a certain point, like even one of the other players like was realizing it, and this is in character, like, "What happened to your accent?" And I'm like, "I lost it in the last dungeon. Okay, let's not worry about it. We got this thing to take care of." So we just. At a certain point, if it gets too bad, I just abandon the accent because it's just distracting at that point.
Yeah, I've had one NPC that I kept the accent through 2 sessions, and they murdered him at the end of it. I'm like,
oh,
really? It's okay.
Use a voice manipulator. Megan learned. That's what I do.
I actually thought about trying to find one for the one I record and seeing if I could try to use that, but I don't know of any good ones that are free.
No, there's no good ones that are free.
Right.
Reaper you can use for 30 days, but
I actually
you can see some of Megan that she uses it, and I use it in a bunch of stuff. So.
I actually looked into that, and it actually wasn't too expensive. I mean, it's $60 for a license. That's not bad at all. It's just, again, I don't have the money. So,
but if you switch computers, you can't transfer the key, as I learned.
That's good to know.
I learned that, Megan. So good luck with that.
That's weird that they key it to your hardware.
Yeah, it's annoying.
There should be some sort of recovery process to fix that, but
there should be. But I made enough money during the hurricane that I just didn't care, so I just bought it again.
Fair.
What was it? What are you talking about?
A Reaper.
Yeah,
you've seen the games I've done.
Yeah, I know. You can't keep it on for too long, right?
Although I think I can now.
Oh,
dude, I was using a 2.1 gigahertz laptop with like 4 gigs of RAM. Oh. I mean, dude, it was like 5 years old. I mean, this thing's got like 40 gigs of RAM. It's like a 3.9 i7 processor. If this thing can't take it, I shouldn't be doing it. But we'll see. Sorry about your technical issues, Megan, but I know how you feel.
Yeah, no. Note to self: running 2 games at the same time, not the best idea.
Are they still running now?
I don't know.
What you can do on your end, at the top in the middle, there's the 4 bars. You can switch it right down, so it will still record with our video. Just you won't receive any of it.
Just for if anyone's curious, the Astros are winning 4-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Just saying.
Yeah.
I live in Houston, dude. The Astros have never won a World Series. I mean, come on. I gotta root for them a little bit.
I'm rooting for them too.
I'll be honest. I'm not into sports, so I'm not gonna like admonish you for it because like that's fine. I have no problem with that. Just for me personally, I don't follow it because it doesn't interest me. That's all.
My interests go they run the whole thing from tabletop RPGs to sports and outdoorsy stuff and nerdy stuff, and I just like everything because life is too short not to have fun with everything.
I'll watch football if there's nothing else to do. I love watching football every now and then, but with having to do all my D&D on the weekends, that's more what I focus on now.
My thing is I'm not one of those people who like, oh well, it's just like I'm this thing, so I can't like that thing. It just legitimately doesn't interest me. That's
okay. That's
right.
Okay.
And that's fine. And and people who do like it, that's perfectly okay. I mean, if you think about it, fantasy football is just D&D but a different version of it. Yeah, it's so there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Thanks.
And I no problem. I hate it when people seem to have this idea that like you can't like everything or like you have to dislike certain things. It's like why?
It's one of those things that I am a arrogant enough asshole to not give a shit what anybody says or if they agree with what I like. So rock on, we're good. I appreciate the encouragement, but I'm awesome regardless. So anyway.
Right.
On that note,
see, Megan, I brought us back.
There we go. Segue.
Not really. I kind of suck at those, as you guys on the podcast know.
So just a quick question. How are you guys enjoying the game so far?
I want to kill something.
Okay, well, we have the tiefling over there. No.
Trying not to hallucinate.
It feels to me like a build up to something. So I'm just kind of waiting for that other shoe to drop. Like, okay.
Same here. I'm waiting for something big to come after.
So far, I think it's been very good as a build up. So let's see what you do with it.
Right, no pressure.
I'm honestly enjoying the just like the seemingly desperation that we're having, and like I feel like there is a buildup, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the contrarian in me that is like, even if there isn't a buildup, I'd be happy. Like even if like we get to the end and they're like, oh, you're all dead because you starved to death or something, it's like I'd be okay with that. But that might just be again the contrarian or the morbid part of me. So
as long as it's a death worthy of remembrance, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
All
right. So the sandstorm comes in a rush over your heads. And since you guys have had cover, you each of you roll a each of you roll a 1d4.
2.
3.
Lucky me.
And so you guys take half of that. So
round down?
Yeah. And
this is in well, not blood, grit, right?
Yeah, it should be grit first and then blood.
What about for me?
Oh, that's right.
That would be your blood.
So I take 1 point in blood then, you said?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh no.
Now, would the cleric not be able to heal his grit? Or no? None of my business is a hard skill. I'm just that was an out of character question.
No, it's cool. It's cool. He can bring it up, or she can bring it up.
Yep. I don't see why not.
Would our night's sleep count as the with this it'd be a short rest, right?
Yes, it would be a short rest. If you got a full 8 hours of sleep.
Sorry, you cut out there.
Yes, if you got a full 8 hours of sleep.
Okay. So with my hunger, I recover half the hit dice. Or half the hit points.
Yep.
All right, well then that would probably go back into my grit instead of blood, and that would be back to 0 grit. Yay!
Okay, whose chair sounds like the dying moose? Seriously. Okay.
I keep trying to put it back on mute so you don't hear that, but every time I move it, just
It's fine. It just sounds like a moose.
it's an old chair.
We are on Dice on Ice, a Canadian channel, so that fits.
That is a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, after a few hours, the sandstorm passes. And as you guys emerge from the lake bed, the terrain looks completely different. The sands have moved. The dunes are not the same as where they were. And the footprints, they're gone. And you guys hear kind of a rumbling, similar to the sandstorm, but deep underground. So much so that you can feel it. You can feel it in your chest. And slowly, the ground beneath you begins to crack and separate.
I suggest we all spread out.
And you hear this scream coming from the depths of this crack. And
Okay, so we hear a scream from inside the crack. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, from the depths of it.
Being the oh boy. So inhuman. Okay, good to know. Actually, never mind.
Yeah, and everyone roll initiative, please. Because that is what the sandstorm brought.
I roll really good initiative, bad everything else.
I don't know what it is with me in 16s tonight, but I've literally, every time I've rolled a d20, it's been a 16. So that's weird. But I feel like as soon as that thing pops out of the ground, Magnus release like just is a blood-curdling scream because he's not used to getting into fights.
Yeah, this is the biggest thing you have probably ever seen. Maybe except for you, Yarp. But this thing towers above you. Its multiple heads just staring down at you. And Freak.
Okay, so this thing's staring at us?
With at least one of its heads, yes.
One of the heads are staring at me?
How many heads do we count?
Good question.
6.
And is this do we see, is it like a reptilian body? Do any of us recognize this creature?
Someone roll me, whoever wants to know, history?
Nature.
Nature? Yep, there we go. That's the one.
A 12.
Woohoo! A 2 + 4. Oh my goodness.
I got a 17.
Yeah. So, Freak, you would know this. It's called a desert hydra. Um, these things are something of legend. You've heard them talk about, but these are things that would ravage entire cities, entire towns within a few hours. The town would be gone. Nothing.
Okay. Looking at our ragtag group here, he'd have a little bit of a look of panic, and maybe even take a couple steps back. But he's looked really bad to these guys so far. So I guess his first reaction would be to cast one of his fire bolts at it. That'd be a 16 plus 7 to hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
Firebolt is 2d10 at 5th level, I believe. That's a d8, my bad. So that's 14 points of damage. Fire damage.
Yeah, so you just see, you cast Firebolt on it, and it maybe hits one of the scales in just this little, like, poof.
Awesome.
And it screams, and maybe a few more heads look towards you, Freak. And then it's...
Yeah, he's just going to continue taking a few steps backwards while keeping his eyes on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully, do something smart.
Yeah. Magnus.
So seeing this, Magnus freezes for a moment, but he quickly gathers himself, and he picks up some of the pebbles and sand from the riverbed that they were standing in, and puts his hands in the skies with two fistfuls of the materials from the desert, and says, "May the desert take you back!" And Sacred Flame. So it needs to make a dexterity saving throw. We're a DC of 15.
It does not make it.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised.
Me too.
So it's going to take only 5 points of, I think, radiant damage. It's been a while since I've used that spell. I'm pretty sure it's radiant.
Yeah, I think it is.
If it matters. But I will then turn around and run away 30 feet.
Yeah, I don't think this thing would even look at you. I don't know if it would even notice that you hit it, to be honest. Yeah. So you move away, and
That's my turn.
Yarp. Okay, Yarp.
Well, I think one of the characteristics you said with the Quickfoot Sasuri was that their scales can kind of camouflage, and I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to try to use that skill and try to get close to this thing and try to climb on top of it. But before he jumps onto it and tries to climb up its head, to actually try to stealth up and get close to it.
Yeah, so give me stealth with advantage.
Okay. Hold on, let me see what my... So that is going to be a 17 and a 14.
Yeah, so with the 17, this thing doesn't really notice you. It's a bit too big to kind of pinpoint you in the sand. So you're able to get up to it.
Okay. Do I have enough movement to try to jump up onto it?
I would say you'd have to make a fairly large leap, so I would count that almost. Yeah, I would say you have enough to kind of jump for it and kind of latch onto it if you'd want.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Just grab onto a scale or something and try to pull myself up, and that's it for this turn.
All right. And Chiruku.
Chiruku's not stupid. She's gonna try to hide somewhere. Is that I don't know if I get advantage on that as well. You're muted.
I think the camouflage was just the quick foot.
Oh.
Yes, sorry. The camouflage is just with the quick foot.
Oh, okay. All right, let's see. Stealth. Oh. 27. I think it is also for the hard skill.
So, I mean, so what do you do? There is the riverbed that you guys kind of crawled out of.
What?
Where? Sorry, where do you want to go?
Just so where it's coming out from the riverbed?
No, it was coming out ahead of you as you were emerging from the riverbed. So if you wanted to hide, you could go back into the riverbed.
Yes, I'm going to go back into the riverbed where I can hide better.
All right. And then Freak.
Okay, my turn again? Without it attacking? Okay. Yeah, Freak would decide he's made himself look tough enough. And he's going to try... So in the ground, there's kind of like a fault line, I'm guessing, is the situation where it's crawling out of?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just this huge fissure that this thing is coming out of.
Okay, I'm going to Misty Step along the fault line to get 30 feet away before I start running. Kind of an unnecessary maneuver. No, he's just going to... Sorry, he's just going to take a full dash action and start running away the full 60 feet.
Which direction would you like to run? Just directly away from it, or...
Preferably in a direction where the fault line's getting thinner.
All right. Yeah, you...
Away from it, hopefully, but where the fault line would be getting thinner.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. You do that. Sorry, Magnus. Oh, you're muted.
Yep, I just noticed that. So it's obviously still standing. I'm kind of terrified of it. I don't want to die. Who's it looking at?
I think that like 3 of its heads are watching the tiefling, and the other 2 are just kind of being menacing and looking around. I can't really see the other 2, so.
Right. Okay. Really don't think I should spend a spell slot. Well, maybe I should.
Try talking to it.
Oh man.
Diplomacy always works.
Would I know any if like these types of creatures aren't intelligent, right? They can't be like reasoned with. They're just massive and dangerous, correct?
Yeah. They're just really massive, and even if you could communicate, I really doubt you speak the language that it speaks.
Probably, yeah. That's the other thing. All right. So I'm not going to try to talk with it because that seems like a bad idea. I will cast then this sacred flame again. I will pick up more of the desert, and and pray that the desert shall protect me and at least most of my party members from this creature. If it has to take one, then take one, but please don't take all of us. And sacred flame again.
Okay.
I resemble that remark.
Does make the save? It's a DC 15. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it passes.
Okay, then nothing happens. It gets a nice tan, and that is it. And how is Freak looking? Does he look fairly damaged?
He looks far away.
You were.
Freak looks like he's running away.
Well, I would have healing word. That's why I was asking. But that's a spell slot, and spells are hard to regain. And he's still running, so we'll just let him keep running for now. That's my turn.
All right, Yarp, you are climbing this thing.
I want to scramble up the neck of the closest one to me. And I want to sit on top of its head.
Okay, yeah, give me acrobatics or athletics.
I'll do an acrobatics. I got a good thing on that. Let me pull it up. Yeah, I got +7 acrobatics. So. Acrobatics is going to be a 23.
Yeah, you somersault up this thing.
And am I near its eyes?
Yeah,
Because
with your whole movement?
Yeah, I wanted to go up his neck to like the top of his head and get close to one of his eyes to jam my dagger in.
Yeah, you know what? I would say that you could do that.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna roll to see if I can hit that. I rolled a 15.
Is one of the heads looking at me?
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. That's +3, so I rolled an 18.
Then yes, that just barely hits.
And I roll a 1d4, right, for the dagger. And I actually attack twice, so let me in this turn because I'm level 5 fighter. This one was actually a 20, so they both hit. And what I really want to do is get one eye and then the other eye, if that's possible. I don't know if I can make it.
I don't know. The eyes are too far apart for you to be able to do that.
Then I'm going to stab the same eye twice, and it's going to be a total of 9 piercing damage in this thing's left eye. And I imagine that the dagger is going to it's so far in there that it's going to get stuck. And I'm just going to hold on for dear life.
Yeah, as this head just kind of begins to reel and just kind of flip around, trying to get you off of it. All right, and Chiruku.
I knew they weren't smart, but fine. I follow up a different head, and I climb up, and I'm going to do the same thing. Stab it in the eye.
I'm going to say that you get to it, and I need you to make a like a jump and a dex save to see if you can jump and hang on to it.
Athletics?
A dex save.
Oh, I thought you said a jump first. Okay. Dex save. Actually, I'm good at dex saves. 16?
Yeah, so you managed to hold on to this thing. Now you are also on the neck of it.
And can I stab it with the spear?
No, that would be your action to get up to it and to jump on it. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So now this thing is, I think it would probably see Yarp, and it would go to attack. with one of its heads kind of aiming at the other. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. I'm going to say it bites its own head. Because it crit failed, so...
That's beautiful.
I have to roll a bunch of d6s. Just give me a second.
I imagine that it goes for me and misses by like inches, and I just like pull my foot up as it just chomps into the other one's head.
Freak's gonna yell over his shoulder. Freak's gonna yell over his shoulder. Do it again!
The head you're on, Yarp, actually begins to fall. And it is, because it's dead, you can kind of see, the eyes kind of, it lets out this screech.
Do I have enough time to try to jump on the head that bit the neck, or that bit the other head?
Yeah, I can make me
Acrobatic?
Yeah.
That's a 14.
Yeah, so you kind of, well, you can explain it. How do you get onto the other head?
Well, I would think that I'm a fighter. I expect things to come, and when I saw this thing coming, and just a split second before it hit, I just pulled my feet up, so it just missed me by inches. And as it was sinking its teeth into the Hydra head, before it actually pulled up, I actually just took a couple of steps onto the other head and just hung on. As it killed the other one, I just moved over to the next head, just being very small and nimble.
Excuse me. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, boy, you're lucky. All right, that puts us back up to Freak.
Okay, so hopefully at this point, Freak's got to a spot that'd be, thin enough for him to crawl into, but too big for the Hydra along the fault line. And he's going to begin climbing in there and try to sneakily move his way back towards the Hydra. More of looking for where its feet hole is, if it has feet anyway.
Yeah, for sure. So that would take, your whole movement to kind of move back towards the Hydra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want me to roll stealth on that, or is it just too busy with biting itself?
I would say you don't need to, only because it really can't see you. I can't imagine it would be able to. So, yeah. Okay.
Freak has a plan.
Okay. Seeing that the rest of my party members are running towards the creature now, Magnus kind of just submits himself to this battle now, and he lays out his hands on top of the sand and drags it across. And as he does that, the sand kind of seems to melt and form into a bladed type weapon, like a sword and whatnot, and it shoots off, and it's a spiritual weapon. And it floats there, and he will attack with the spiritual weapon. Does a 20 hit?
Yes.
Oh, and I'll be casting it at 3rd level.
Okay.
So, that's cocked. That's 13 points of damage.
Okay.
It's force damage. That's what I was looking up. So 13 points of force damage as this black obsidian blade made from the desert flies towards this Hydra and tries to hopefully take a head off, but it's clearly not going to take a head off because it's just a small blade. But
yeah, it maybe makes a scratch.
And yeah, that'll be my turn.
Yarp.
Same thing. I mean, this obviously worked well. This tactic works. So same thing. Stab this thing in the eye twice.
Okay, go for it.
22 and 10. So I'm assuming the 10 missed.
Yes.
And that does 6 piercing damage as I plunge this dagger again. I don't think I blind this one on this side, but I plunge the dagger into a part of this big eye. Again, just hold on.
Yeah, give me a dex save.
Okay. That's going to be a 1.
You get flung off.
No doubt. I assume he shakes his head as I hit him, and I just go flying off. Where do I land, Megan?
Far away.
She has no idea.
Well, you definitely fall a good 50 feet.
Ouch. Okay.
40 feet, yeah. So I would say, do you know how much damage you take for falling?
D6 for every 10 feet.
Yep.
Oh. Yep. So then you take as much for 50 feet worth.
So should I roll the 6, or do you want to?
Yeah. I trust you. Go for it.
Okay. Hold on. I got a couple D6s here. All right. We're doing 5, right? 50 feet?
Roll some ones.
That is going to be 10, 13, 14, 16. 16 damage.
Yes.
Ow.
You are far away, I would think.
I'm just going to chill there for a little while. Just take it all in as my partners. I got the ball rolling. My partners can finish it up. I'm just going to sit there and just kind of try to come to my senses for a little while.
Are you still conscious?
Well, 14. I'm sorry, Megan. I might have done the grit and the stuff wrong. In the playtest, what was the number? Can somebody tell me it real quick?
Grit is your basically how you calculate HP with your class and whatnot, and
No con.
with no con, correct. And then your level plus con is your blood.
Okay, so no, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Actually, you have the most blood points, or no grit.
Yeah,
Yeah, the most, being the fighter.
Yeah, I have something like 40 some to start, and so I only lost 14,
Okay.
so I'm down to like 31. So yeah,
Okay.
I would say I'm still conscious, but that hurt. That definitely hurt.
All right. I was just wondering if Magnus was going to see a crumpled heap of our buddy there and have to come running. So
Just don't let him eat me. That's all I ask.
I was gonna say, AKA dinner.
Jackass.
Sorry, breakfast.
So, right, that's Chiruku.
All right, how big are one of these necks? Like around the circumference?
I would probably say 10 feet.
Oh.
Diameter.
Oh, 10 diameter. Yeah, I don't see you wrapping around this. All right, I'm going to stab it. Any chance I get the sneak attack bonus because it's not suspecting me?
No. Sorry.
Fine.
Good try, though. Good try.
Still gonna stab it in one of the eyes. I rolled 6 on damage, but the only problem, well, plus my mod. So that was maximum damage I would have done, but I rolled a 1 to hit.
Did you stab yourself?
Yeah, I want you to tell me what happens as you try to stab this thing. Something bad happens, but I'll let you decide within reason.
For some stupid reason, even though she's not really that stupid, she decides to take the spear in both hands and forgets that she is not really secured. So she tries to stab him and ends up falling off, I guess, or sliding down or something.
Yeah. So, all right, it's this thing's turn. What is it going to do? All right, well, this beast begins to fall. It begins to kind of retract where it emerged from. As there's no town, there's not too many souls here, it's not going to concern itself with being here. And so it kind of retracts back into this deep hole that it made.
Freeze can use a mage hand to wave it by, because he's kind of stuck in that crevice.
Yeah, Freak, you actually smell something very familiar. The sweet smell of demon's blood. And you look down, and this thing was actually a demon. And you can see that from one of its small cuts that one of you made, it kind of dripped into the sand, and now there's this kind of sandy, bloody mixture.
Yeah, I'm gonna find some way to scoop that up, because again, I'm stuck in that crevice. So on my way out, I'm gonna be looking for a way to scoop that up. And I don't even care that it's mixed with sand. I'm just gonna stick it in my mouth. I'm craving this so badly. And just once I get topside, I'm gonna see whose blade has the blood on it and start and just ask for their blade so I can start licking it off. A lot like Yarp was licking my clothes earlier.
We're licking way too much stuff in Griff off. Just too much.
Yeah, what's with all the licking?
Because it's a Friday night, and that's what you do on a Friday night.
Hey, it's creep off etiquette, okay? It's cool.
Completely.
You can work this into the next playtest document.
Yep.
The lick attack. Isn't that a Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Pokemon attack, yeah.
So I think that was probably caused by the blade that Magnus produced. So I'm not sure that there'd be anything tangible. Right, Magnus?
Well, probably not. It's a spiritual weapon, so I mean it does force damage. So presumably it's not a physical object, because like it doesn't necessarily, as far as like rules as written go, it's not it doesn't have the same properties as like a physical object, you know.
Well, Yarp stabbed it with the dagger. Did he leave the dagger in its eye as it retracted?
I actually pulled it out, but I left it in the one that retracted. Yes, as I was thrown off, it's probably still stuck in its eye somewhere.
He's just gonna look so disappointed as he's chewing on this bloody sand ball. Dude, I've been lowered too.
Megan's like, "What are these people doing?"
Yarp,
He will look over the crevice to see if it bled on the walls on the way down. See if he can get any from there.
Yeah, you can definitely see there's a few streaks of blood that you could probably get a bit of. And
Okay.
Yarp, you are quite a ways away from your companions. And I'm sure as you kind of get up and dust yourself off, you feel a hand grab you.
Where?
Probably your
You need an
hand.
adult.
I need an adult.
Sorry.
No, or your leg.
Okay. Okay, so I mean, it just grabbed. Do I know what's grabbing? Do I see it? Does it just come out of the sand?
Well, it kind of comes out of your field of vision, and if you were to look there, kind of, I imagine that you kind of fell onto a dune, and just beyond it, you see an ash elf looking extremely sick and dehydrated. They have cracked lips. Please help me.
Am I holding anything? Or is I left my dagger in the thing's eye, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't say anything. He would look confused for a moment. And he would be in his head, he would be thinking, well, obviously this guy's about to die. And trying to think of a way to end him, but he doesn't have any weapons. So I think he would, whatever he's holding, he would just kind of jerk his leg free, and he would use the dash action to get back to his friends. I can go 80 feet in that time, and I would just get back and I would point over there to this guy. I really wouldn't say anything. I would just point that they need to go over there. If I had a weapon, I'd have slit his throat, but I don't have a weapon.
So, Yarp, is everything all right?
And he would just over there, over.
There's something over there.
Yep, over there.
Okay. All right. I go walk over there.
And I would stay exactly where I'm at. I wouldn't follow you.
So I walk over and obviously see the ash elf begging for
Yeah.
help.
Kind of reach his frail, bony hand out to you. Please help me. I need some water, please.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, sir, but unfortunately we have no water. We are in the same boat as you. We merely have just not been out here as long as you have. I'm sorry. If it's any consolation, I can end your suffering.
No, please, water, please. I just need some water.
I don't have
Please.
any water, sir. But you may have something we need, and that is your water. I'm very sorry, but
No, please.
this is the desert, and this is how it must be. And I will take my makeshift dagger that I was given and end his life. If you
And
need me to roll,
as
I'll
you-
roll, but
No, that's fine.
okay.
As he
Can I actually stop him?
is dying,
Actually,
you are not
no.
there.
Okay, that's fine. I'm only down 1 hit point. Never mind. I'm not gonna give in yet to the whatever. I forget what it's called.
And as he's dying, the blood is kind of gurgling. You slit his throat, and he kind of coughs a little bit, and it just kind of spurts out, and he manages to say, "Oasis." And then he dies.
Damn it. All right. Well, that was ominous, and I probably shouldn't have killed him. But well, oh well, such as it is. Does he have anything on him? Like anything useful?
Yeah, you can see that he has an empty water skin. He has probably a bow.
Ooh.
And 1 or 2 arrows. Not too much.
Okay. I will definitely take the water skin and inspect it for holes.
There are no holes other than being completely empty. It is in working order.
Perfect. I will then cast extract water on this newly dead person into the water skin.
So, Megan, I forgot to ask. I'm sorry. Between the sandy blood ball and the blood on the walls I was licking up, did I did anything positive happen for me, or is it just not enough?
Yeah. So I would say that all your symptoms are gone. However, it's going to take half the time now for you to have to make that withdrawal roll again. So Magnus, that was a 1d6.
That is a 4. So that's 4 gallons. I'm pretty sure this water skin doesn't hold 4 gallons.
No.
So.
As soon as I saw him killed, can I get over and try to catch any spill-off water in the other water skin? Trying to keep my a finger in the hole.
You can.
I guess maybe a dex.
I'm just gonna say if you run. Yeah, I'm just gonna say if you run. Yeah, you will be able to get to you would get there to fill up enough for your water skin.
We should drink from this one first. I'm not going to walk around all day with my finger in it.
Fair enough. Before I partake of any water, I actually say a small prayer over the corpse. Being, a cleric of the desert, I say some along the lines of like, from the desert and back to it we shall come, and sprinkle a handful of sand over the body.
Yeah, awesome.
How much water do we need again?
You need 1 gallon a day.
And how many gallons in a water skin?
I would say enough for 1 day.
Wearing it's optional.
Well, then, then you know what? I'm not sharing this one. I'm going to drink the whole thing.
You dick.
Oh, actually, I'm going to give you. I'm going to save about a third of it for you, and I'll save a half, and I'll toss. I seal it and toss it over to you while removing my finger from the hole. I toss it over to Yarp. So you better catch it spilling out.
Well, considering that I had plenty of water from sucking it off of Freak's clothes,
Catches it upside down.
yeah, I would just kind of hold it and say thanks as the water's running out at the bottom. But if I was close enough to see the bow, I would definitely grab that, though, Megan.
Yeah, for sure.
I could definitely use that and grab a couple arrows, and yeah, I would definitely use those.
Yeah, you find 3 arrows.
Sweet.
Cool. I will partake of the water as well. I will. Being that I just witnessed our tiefling sucking blood out of sand, and being somewhat unknowledgeable of their biology, I will assume he's been satiated as far as liquids go, and so just drink what I need for
Fair enough.
For the day. And I think the expression on Magnus's face is one of, he wasn't happy to do that, but he knew he felt that it had to be done. So he's not, I don't know what you would call it, but it's definitely not like a happy expression on his face.
Yeah, and you guys all feel the effects of the sun on your backs and bodies, and each of you take 1d4 fire damage from being sun-kissed.
Even, I'm just trying to remember what we have. Even the 2 of us. Oh no, that's separate from sun sickness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this would probably be a good time to ask if when the effects wore off, did I get my grit points back, or is this just coming on my blood points?
I would say you would get half your grit points back.
I'm sorry, cut out. What was that?
You'd get half your grit points.
Half. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so the Sasori do not take the sun sickness.
Oh, but was this sun sickness?
Yes.
Oh, so I'll heal that back.
Sorry. My apologies.
No problem.
Well, if we are, I suppose we are all set to go. Shall we try and find our way?
To where? You're muted.
Unfortunately, I am not sure where we are anymore due to the sandstorm removing our path. Maybe someone else may be able to orient ourselves. But unfortunately, there was a final word this ash elf spoke as I was plunging the makeshift dagger into his throat, which was oasis. Which leads me to believe that it might be near here. Unfortunately, it's very difficult for me to be able to tell that. Although I do have a trick or two up my sleeve, recovering the blessings of the desert takes time, and I am leery to expend all of that.
Megan, would any of us know of an oasis close? Would anyone?
Anyone who would want to see if they know anything about an oasis can roll survival or nature.
Ooh, that's a 21 for me.
19 for me.
Yeah, I rolled nature and got 19 altogether.
All right,
Apparently,
so
we all know.
Oh, that oasis. Oh.
I went there last Tuesday.
Maybe bother asking you. I knew of this one. Sorry.
So you guys know that there are many places that the Ash Elves would set up camp, preferably near sources of water. And so they would call these places an oasis. So you know about them. You know that they generally move around as the water supply dries up. So there is no real set spot where this place is. But you know that it is probably close-ish because the ash elves normally stick together in groups, and if they go out, it is usually not that far, a day or two tops.
Okay. So, do we have any way of knowing what direction that he might have been coming from, or where to go, or anything like that? Or if anyone else has any ideas, please do that.
I mean, presumably he was thirsty, so he was looking for water. So I imagine if he was near an actual oasis, it's probably long dry. I would imagine he would be dragging himself away from said oasis, so probably the direction his feet are pointing. I would presume to be where he's from, but as far as I don't know. The prospects are iffy at best.
Well, if we didn't kill the guy.
I was doing him a favor. He was asking for help that we could not have provided. He was clearly at death's door. Instead of letting him bake out here into the sun until his flesh parted from his face, I released him back to the desert.
And with
some people...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Some people call me the savage.
My father always told me not to trust a cleric.
Why? Yarp would just kind of look up at you and say and ask that question because that's a very odd statement.
Just a bad joke, little one.
Very bad.
A position of what is or isn't savage is usually just a position of different opinions and values. I, seeing that you don't wear the same amount of clothing as I do, don't call you savage because I understand that is just a different viewpoint, as it were, or a different priority. So before you judge me, make sure you judge yourselves first. I did what I thought was right. If you disagree with it, fine. But either way, we have some amount of water. We will survive for another day, and unfortunately we are stuck together whether we like it or not. So I did what I thought was right, making sure that we all survive, one way or another. Now, if we want to get the philosophical debate out of the way, we can move on and try to find some sort of society to where we can at least recover from any sort of injuries we have. Which, by the way, Yarp, I really do appreciate you taking... Not taking, but... the amount of damage you did to that thing managed to shoo it away, as it were, which will not go unnoticed. And once I have access to any sort of funds or what have you, I will be sure to repay you in any way I can.
Yarp would just kind of look at him and he would just, again, look very confused. He's not used to these type of social interactions. And he would go, okay, no philobobble debate. Time to go.
Perfect. Let's be off then.
So what direction are you guys heading?
That way.
Towards the oasis, obviously.
Towards the oasis. Yeah.
It's as good as a direction as any.
Can I do a survival check? I don't know, maybe if there's any breeze, if I can feel moisture from it or something. No, I'm just like a survival check to see if I can figure out on the wind.
I mean, you could do another survival check to see if you can kind of reorient yourself in the way heading back to Freeport,
Sure. Yeah.
if you would like, or
How far were we roughly from Freeport?
you could not have been there. So you were going on the whim of the direction that you were headed.
Okay. Survival 19.
Recognize a pair of mountains way in the distance, more small little bumps than anything. And you know that that is the direction where the leader of your pilgrimage said for you to go.
That's the way we were going. That's the way I'm going to go. The oasis can be in any direction. We can miss it by a short distance. We can miss it by a lot. We could be walking the wrong way. I'm headed that way, towards the mountains.
I would agree. Mountains tend to have water near them or on them. So I would just follow suit.
Okay.
Let us be off then, to the mountains. At least it's a very easy point to orient ourselves, and so getting lost should be at least a little bit more difficult.
So you all begin to walk. For the rest of the day. You each, so the two non-Susuris, after about 4 hours, sorry, I should ask, during this time, to find shade or respite, breaks.
Sorry, you were breaking up a little.
Sorry, do you take any respite or breaks or get out of the sun, seek out shade during this time?
Especially around noon would probably be the best time to take a break. Was there anything else on the body?
No, not really.
I take just some of his clothing and stuff. No weapons on him?
We already
There was
gave
that
the
bow.
weapons. Yeah.
Oh, just the bow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I take some of his clothing. Always good to have a little bit extra, especially at nighttime. You know, I had a blanket with me, but not big on the clothes, but the blanket at night is important. But so I take some of his clothing with, and before we head out. But yeah, I recommend we take a break around noon.
I would have.
So after about...
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, so yeah, any sort of like shade we could find at all, and but I don't think there would have been. But originally I was going to do my channel divinity, but I think I got too caught up in the kind of discussion we were having, and so in a huff, Magnus never actually did his channel divinity. So whether through being stubborn or forgetfulness, who knows?
In fact, you don't come across for about 4 hours. And so that means that for the non-Susuris, sun scorched. You take 2d12 fire damage. and each of you roll me a d20. The Susuris, you are sunburned. Sorry?
I forgot to bring up last time. With the sun sickness, would my fire resistance come into play at all?
Yes.
Okay. So that would have been half of the damage last time. And then you said D12 this time?
2d12.
2D12. Okay.
So hold on, we're rolling. We roll 1d8.
You and Yarp roll 1d8, and you are poisoned.
Oh, okay. Okay. And
So
what was
2d12 damage for the sun, you said?
Yes.
14.
And then I also need the two. I'm sorry?
I'm good.
Okay. I need both of the non-Susuris to also roll a d20, please.
3?
The
The
non-necessary.
non-Susuris.
I got a,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I got a 10.
Freak, you again have amnesia. Where you are. Know who you are, but you don't recognize any of the people you are with. And Magnus, what did you get on the d20?
Get a 2.
Magnus, you come over the rise. In front of you is a horror. Anything you've ever seen. Has different faces along this body. Different appendages kind of sticking out of it. And all the faces are in this mouthless, this eyeless scream. And it is slowly coming towards both you and your teammates.
How far away is it, Megan?
Yarp, you don't see anything.
Oh, sorry.
I scream in abject terror and throw my dagger at it.
Yeah, give me an attack roll, please.
How's a 9 sound?
Not hit this thing. It kind of flies past it.
Show that hallucination who's boss.
So it's still coming like at me.
Very slowly, but yes. It's kind of morphing and you can hear all these bones breaking and cracking as it's making its way towards you.
I think you muted or something by accident. You kind of stopped.
Yes, it's coming slowly towards you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, maybe I just misinterpreted. So like, I will, with my party members, like if they kept going, I would just say, "No, don't go towards it. It'll kill you. It's a giant monstrosity. Do you not see it?" What do you shake your head at? It's right there. How can you not see it?
Freak would just say, what is the little thing talking about? As he realizes the back of his head's baking, and he thinks that's what's giving him a headache and causing. I mean, obviously he doesn't know he has amnesia, but it's giving him a headache, and he sees the big Susuri has a fairly large shadow, so he's gonna start trying walking in that, like ducking down, and just looking around for whatever he's talking about.
I bend down to sort of whisper to Yarp and say, "These warm bloods, they're so fragile."
I would just smile and nod, and you would see me drool a little bit.
Patience. Yeah, but we don't want this one, motioning to the tiefling. The other one is for,
As I'm the one cowering in your shadow.
yeah, that one there is when absolutely necessary.
Yarp was he would just nod, but look a little bit disappointed. Just okay.
So Magnus, do you attack it again? This thing is still...
It's still coming. I will attempt to do my sacred flame on it again. Or not
Okay.
again, but on it. So, scooping up just in a frantic motion, not even like really thinking about it, just out of sheer terror, picking up sand and going, "Away with you! Back to the desert, to the sands!" And just throwing sand and casting sacred flame.
Okay, so does that thing need to make a dex
If
save?
it were real, yes.
So yes. It fails. So
It's real to you.
it's real to you.
Then it takes 7 real to me radiant damage.
Yeah, and you can see that you've kind of like blasted a hole in it, right in the center, but then it starts knitting itself together with like little hands. They're coming close to the center and like kind of grabbing till the middle is kind of sewn back together. It's like that. It's gone.
Okay. I think I've killed it. Or at least banished it. We should be fine now at this point. It's gone. Seriously, though, you should all really be more observant of your surroundings. I feel like that could have gone so much worse.
At this point, I've about had it with him. I grab him by the collar, pick him up, and I can carry well over 400 pounds with the brawny feet. And I pick him up and I just carry him along as like a to-go container. Just
As much as I appreciate the help, you don't really need to. I mean, or at the very least, you could be a little bit more gentle about it.
he just keeps walking. Let's go.
And so as you come over the next rise, you see a cave.
Oh, shade.
Kind of buried into the sand.
Yarp would point. He would basically tap Nick on the leg and point to the cave. Just obviously he needs the one that get there fast. I don't know if he's still being held or how that's working, but trying to get him in there as quick as possible.
I have right now as much concern for Magnus as I do my last bit of food. So I don't want him to die just yet. So I will head into the cave carrying him.
And you go in to get some respite. And you hear this chattering noise coming from the darkness within the cave. And you see eyes. 6 of them, to be exact. All kind of clustered together, staring at you from the darkness.
How far away, Megan?
10 feet from the mouth of the cave, which is where I assume you are.
Can I loose an arrow straight into those eyes?
Yeah,
That's what I want to do.
then do it.
That's going to be 24 to hit. If it's anything.
That is a hit. Yep.
Uh-oh, I hear
Roll for damage.
Oh, okay. And I can actually do it twice. I got two attacks, so let me roll the other one. The other one's going to be 18. Does that hit?
Yes.
Okay. So let me find my D8. So the first one's going to do 5, and the second one's going to do 6. So a total of 11 damage with these 2 arrows, but I only have 1 arrow left. What does it hit, Megan? Or what do I hear?
You hear this kind of shriek, and the eyes disappear for a second, and then outbursts this thing.
Oh, nice, lovely.
It's so pretty.
And
my
everyone
arrows
roll.
sticking out of him? Okay.
I'm sorry?
Are my arrows sticking out of his face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for clarification, I am still parched, correct?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So the scorpion demon thing has my arrow sticking out of his face. Could you guys get me those arrows, please? I could use them. Just saying.
Am I smelling fiendish blood right now? Or is it just a beast?
No, this thing seems to be just a desert critter. So who is closest to the mouth of the cave?
I guess that I'm the closest to the beast because I think I was walking in first with Magnus.
Yep.
And then I picture
Right.
some arrows flying over my shoulder.
Okay. So this thing lunges out and attacks you with its pincers. The large ones hit you, and they do 6 piercing damage. And Magnus's turn.
I will leap from the grasp of Charuku, and I will then. I've lost my dagger because I threw it in an abomination. I will then cast. Let's start off with Sacred Flame. So just Dexterity saving throw. DC 15.
No, it does not. Avoid.
It does not save. It takes 9 points of radiant damage. And I think that I will then take a few steps back behind. No, I won't do. I won't. I will not stand behind Shiraku, and I will instead just kind of step off to the side of it, and that'll be my turn.
All right. Then that is Freak next.
Okay, he's going to... How far away is it from me?
I would say it's right there because it had to lunge for it to bite at Chiruku. So 3 feet.
3 feet? Okay, I'm going to use a... no, I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to reflexively and instinctually cast a firebolt at this too. Just out of pure panic, he's going to cast one. That's a 19 to hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
Seven and 3, 10 damage.
All right. Chiruku.
Now, is someone within 5 feet, an ally within 5 feet of this creature?
Yes, most definitely.
Oh, that's good. Because now I will lay down the hurt, I hope. Actually, I am, even though I have the spear in my hand, I am going to lunge out and bite. I am basically... I'm not Chiruku's not looking very good. She's taken a lot of damage, and she starts getting an almost feral look in her eyes, and she just lunges at this creature, trying to bite it. Ooh, that's not good. 14 hit?
No, just barely misses.
Okay. And that's it, I guess. So. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, because I did say I was doing that. So as a bonus action, I'm going to actually try the Hungry Jaws, which does grant me another attack. No, I did worse. Because I did the attack, I can't use it again. Is that correct? Or do I have to hit? Oh, if the attack hits, I can't use it again. Okay. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so I try to snap at it twice, and it didn't... Yeah, I missed it.
All right. Yarp.
Well, really, the only thing Yarp can do, he has one arrow left. How far away is this thing from me? You said like 10 feet?
Excuse me. I'd say probably about 5 feet now because I had to lunge forward. Lunge.
Okay. I want to use my movement and see if I can go pull one of my arrows out of his face and run back. First?
Sure. I think that would do an opportunity attack.
Not because I took the mobile feat. You don't get opportunity attacks if you go out when you have the mobile feat.
Okay.
Did that on purpose. So yeah, I'm going to go in there and grab it and run away and then do my 2 arrows that I have left.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
what
do you want me to roll?
Strength. Yeah,
Oh,
just give me a strength to see if you can pull it out.
Oh God. Yeah, that's a 2.
This thing is holding on to those arrows.
All right. Then I am going to just move back a few feet, knock an arrow in, and the one arrow that I have left, and try to shoot it in the eye at maybe 10 feet away. That's going to be 18 a hit.
Yep.
And that's going to be 9 piercing damage, and I'm assuming the arrow is stuck into him still.
Yes.
So he has 3 arrows stuck in his face. If anyone would like to grab me one, that would be great because I'm out of arrows. That's my turn.
All right. The beast is going to lunge at Chiruku again. Hitting both times. And you feel with its inner... I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please, Chiruku. Okay. You take... So you take 7 points of piercing damage and 4 points of necrotic.
Ooh, she's barely hanging on. Well, before she drops to blood points, that is.
Imagine when my turn comes around.
Yeah, Magnus, it is your turn now.
Perfect. So Chiruku is looking really, really hurt. And Yarp needs those arrows. So what I shall do is standing off where I'm at currently, kind of away, I will yell a arcane word at Chiruku, probably something along the lines of Kapoya, and you will be healed with healing word for 7 points of grit. And that will eat up a first level slot. And then I shall do something incredibly not smart and run to the creature and try to pull out one of the arrows or a bunch of the arrows and throw them to Yarp.
All right, make me a strength check.
You want to die?
I got it. I rolled it. That's an 11. I got an 11.
Just, you can feel it move a little bit.
Come on, just a little bit. Just come on, just let it go.
Just barely. Just barely.
Man. All right, that's my turn because I bonus moved standard. That's my turn. I got nothing else. So.
All right, freak.
Yeah, how is this this creature looking?
Not too bad. Moderately hurt. Still angry.
I would assume so. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with what's worked for freaks so far, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw another firebolt at it. Oh no, that's 15.
Yeah, that just hits.
Sweet. 3 and 3, so 6 fire damage.
All right.
Not his best day.
All right, Chiruku.
Okay, let's try this again. I switched dice. The first thing I'm going to do, just so we're clear on order, and I don't do it accidentally twice, I'm going to do Hungry Jaws first as a bonus action. So Chiruku is still looking pissed, almost like an anger in her eyes, raging almost. 18 better hit.
Yep.
Okay. Do you need to know damage types? Well, I guess technically it's all piercing. Sneak attack included. So 5, 12, 15, 18 points of piercing damage. And I heal back Conmod. So 3.
18 points, did you say?
Yes, with the sneak attack. It's a 3d6 that I can do with as a bandit with any weapon.
Wow.
Okay, and my primary attack, I'm going to bite it again, even though I have a spear in my hand. No, that's a miss. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Yarp.
First question is, how do you miss biting something? I mean,
I rolled a 4. I'm a little raging and frothing and, type thing. So I guess I have no idea. It's too hard. The shell is of this creature is too hard.
the carapace. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the carapace. There you go. I'm not missing. I just can't penetrate with my teeth.
That makes more sense in my head. Thanks for clearing that up.
I was thinking like your nose got in the way.
So Megan, did he pulled that arrow free, right? Did he get it to me?
Magnus?
Whoever pulled the arrow out, like he barely pulled the arrow out.
I thought I barely missed.
Yeah,
Like,
he
oh, okay.
didn't. No, he just barely didn't. He could feel it move, but no.
Okay. This is so
tried.
stupid. I want to again, I want to try to mount the scorpion thing. I want to try to jump on its back. Just because this is what he does. He's this agile little guy and he can't take it face to face, so he needs to get advantage. So I'm going to try to mount the scorpion death beast. What should I roll, Megan? Acrobatics?
Dex?
Okay, Dex. Okay.
Actually, acrobatics. No, I like that. Do that.
Good. I get a +7 of that, so that works. That's going to be another 23 for acrobatics.
So you cartwheel onto this thing. Okay.
And on here, I have nothing to do, but I'm just holding on and chilling. So that's my turn.
Okay. This beast is going to try and shake you off. So I'm going to need you to make a strength save to see if you can hold on.
My strength is like a 7. Hold on. Not a natural 1, but a 1.
So you just roll off of it.
Okay.
It's not that far off the ground. And then, it's just going to try and bite Chiruku once with its inner pincers. And it does. Can you make a... Oh, Paul's gone. Well...
He said he'd be back.
Yeah, I just saw that now.
Just put the damage in chat.
Yeah. Well, I need
Roll
to.
for him.
I need him to make a save.
I'll roll for him.
Okay.
I don't know what his pluses are, but that's only a 3, so I bet he's not going to make that.
Nope. All right.
Sorry, Paul. I killed you. Yay. Sorry.
You're getting our tank eaten right now. It's terrible.
Magnus.
Okay. So Yarp is on the back of this scorpion death machine, and Freak is doing something. Chikaru is slowly dying, and I'm still holding on or trying to pull an arrow out. So I yelled at Yarp, "Do you still need the arrow?" Oh, you got bucked off. I'm sorry. Then I will try to pull the arrow out. And wait, is it a skill check? It's not a skill check, so I can't use guidance, correct?
It is a skill check, so you can use guidance.
I will use guidance. And then it's a strength to pull the arrow out?
Yep, strength.
Okay, so guidance gives me a D4, I believe. I haven't used that spell in a while. I rolled terribly anyways. Freaking, it's less than 10. So I don't pull the arrow out. Can I? That's it. That's all I got.
I'm sorry. Where did Paul go? He came back.
I don't know. He
looked
came
at you.
back and then.
What was he mad that I rolled his save?
See what you did?
You just noped right out of there.
He just saw that and I'm done.
You
I hate these guys.
guys are jerks.
Here he comes.
Stop talking about him, everybody.
Oh, sorry.
So, Paul, while you were gone, you took too long, so I rolled a save for you, and we lost. And you took 7 damage. FYI.
Okay, I'm still standing.
Sorry, not sorry.
Let's put it this way: my hit points or my grit equals my blood points. That's how bad I'm doing.
So, sorry, Magnus, you did not get enough to pull the arrow out?
No, even like I rolled a 3.
Okay.
So unless I did guidance wrong, which I'm pretty sure I didn't, I'm not pulling that arrow out. So that is my turn because, yeah. Sorry.
You know what? I'm going to say that you get advantage because you've kind of pulled it loose a little bit.
I only rolled 2 higher.
Oh, okay.
So that's I appreciate the effort. I really do. But I still failed miserably with a 6.
All right. Freak.
Okay, is this thing still right next to me?
Yes.
I haven't moved it up. Okay. Silly me, I don't get to play very often. I forgot that I have sorcery points, and I was going to do this in the beginning. But now I'm going to... Because at this point, Freak would be getting really nervous anyway. It's sitting right next to him. It's chewing on this big guy, which is basically his walking shade as you guys have seen before. And I'm going to try and cast Thunder Wave to try and blow him up. If not blow it away from us, blow it off of... I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the name. Charaka, is it?
Charuku,
Charuku.
yeah.
Is that who it's chewing on? I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it has to roll a Constitution saving throw. DC 15.
It makes it.
That is unfortunate. It's still going to take half damage, though. So I rolled 2 1s on the damage, so one point of damage. That's great use of a spell slot. Also sorcery points, so everybody else that's in the area, you would take half damage as well, so you'd also take 1 point of damage. I thought it'd be more worth it to blow it away.
Wait, how much you're doing damage to me?
It's like an area of effect type deal. So everything within range takes damage. Freak's heart was in a good place. He was trying to blow it away, but it didn't work.
What do I have to do? A saving throw or something, or what? How did that work?
Or yeah. Sorry, you guys would all have to take saving throws as well.
What's the DC? Which
15 con save. Sorry.
So I failed. So I take two damage.
You take 2 damage and you get knocked back 10 feet. I mean, but that one would be up to Megan because you're in its mandibles.
I rolled a 20.
Yeah.
So I say you get ripped from it and you take additional damage.
All right, I can fall right. Well, no, I won't. I may not fall, but well, it's possible.
Yeah, you take 3.
Okay. Yeah, that was so worth it.
That backfired hard. My bad, guys.
This is why you don't take tieflings out with you.
Okay. Chiruku.
She's a lot pissed. How far away am I?
10 feet.
I will step up to 5 feet. There's still someone else within 5.
Yep.
I am going to stab at it. I'm pretty sure 19 unmodified hits. Only 12 points of damage, piercing.
Where did you bite it, Paul? Like, what part of its body?
Let me see. Well, biting it on the top wasn't working, so I decided to bite it. Looks like the tail end, I guess.
Is it my turn now, Megan?
Yes.
I'm going to see what he's doing. And, he's a big, strong guy. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. Go up beside him and try to bite this thing's tail because it worked for him and I got no arrows left. I don't think I can do that, but
Yeah, go for it.
Roll to hit. That, with my strength modifier, would be a 15.
Perfect. That hits.
How much damage should I roll for, Megan? Or should I take damage as it breaks my own teeth? What do you think?
I'd probably say like a 1d4.
Okay, let's do that. And I'm smiling, looking as the heart scale is like biting. I went right after him, so like we're biting at the same time, and I'm just kind of looking over at him, smiling, as we just. And that was 4 damage, Megan. That is 4 damage as this cobalt-like creature bites the scorpion death beast.
So you can describe to me how you kill this thing.
Okay, I got it. It's perfect. So I see my friend doing this, and I see this kind of dark, like Icarus blood, this kind of black ichor pouring out of it. And I go next to him, and I do the same thing, but my snout is a little bit longer. and I must have hit an artery or something like that, because when I pull out, just this jet of this black Icarus blood just starts shooting all over my friend's face, covering just his whole, he's like this, it's in his eye, he can't see, it's spewing on the ground, and I'm just standing there smiling with this chunk of scorpion death beast in my mouth, just very, very satisfied with myself. It's best I got. Sorry.
Perfect.
No, that's perfect. Yeah.
It's a kobold. What do you want me to do? Sorry, Paul.
One of my top 5 favorite kills, I'm telling you right now.
Just got to point out, one of my personality traits is I can trust a death wing more than I can trust people. And my flaw is I will never fully trust anyone other than myself. I think you have moved in just below Deathwing.
I'm sorry. I didn't have a weapon. What do you want me to do? I would think that he would see his big cousin doing it and he wanted to do it too, right? I'm sorry, Megan. I'm just trying to have fun.
No, that's awesome.
I know it's genetically random if they become a hard skill, a quick foot, or a Drake's blood. But maybe this quick foot is part hard skill.
Maybe we could do a whole thing on this guy, because this guy's a lot of fun, actually. A lot of fun to play. Anyway, sorry. So the death beast is dead. Now what?
Yeah, now what? What do you guys do?
Freak is going to start backing away because of that thunder wave.
I tear a small piece of my clothing off and I hand it to Paul just to wipe his face off. Just as a gesture.
Well, that was they could have gone a lot better. Those arrows you did a really fine job, Yarp. I'm telling you, those arrows right in there, they're deep. I couldn't get them out.
Actually, before I wipe it off, I'm going to ask this question. Is this poisonous? This beast poisonous or not?
Most definitely, maybe. Probably.
Very good DM answer right there.
Yes.
Why don't you let it sit on your skin for a while and find out there, buddy?
So there's a likely chance that it is not. About a 60% chance that it is not poisonous.
Okay, then.
You know that for sure.
Then can I do a survival check or a nature check to know what this is and if it's poisonous?
Yeah, you can do a check.
Survival or nature?
Nature.
17.
Yeah, so you know this thing is a scorpion. Its meat in and of itself should not be poisonous, but you don't know what it's been, kind of exposed to, if that makes sense.
It
might
could have
cause.
Sorry, go ahead.
So it's supposed to be a small scorpion. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, say that again.
You're saying it's supposed to be a scorpion, which are supposed to be smaller?
Yeah, no, this is a large.
But it's supposed
large
to
scorpion type thing.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out the arrows and hand them over. You want me to do a strength check or?
No. I'm gonna say that if you take your time in wiggling them out, you can get them out.
It's because I loosened them for you.
Were you looking for these?
Yeah, he would just. I would just nod, but I would still have that chunk of beast in my mouth, just holding it there as I very nicely take it from you. And maybe, you know what? I'll take the chunk of meat out of my mouth and I'll actually hand that to you, just as a kindness.
Sure. This might kill me. This might not. I'm going to take it. I'm going to eat it.
Winning cry-off.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I would look very, very happy that you ate it.
So this thing was came towards the entrance of the cave, so we're like only a few feet in, I imagine.
Yep.
And it's dark, I would imagine, so it's like we can't see much farther in.
No, it gets dark pretty quickly.
Correction, the human can't see very far. We have dark
Well,
vision.
for now, I cast light and put that in into the cave and see, like, hopefully there isn't like another one or its family right behind it, licking their chops, waiting for us.
Yeah, once you cast light, you can see that this was not a very big cave. It kind of, you can see the wall of it within another 5 feet of where it was dark, or 10 feet. So yeah, it's not a very big cave. And anyone who took a bite of the scorpion, can they roll a percentile? Except for Chiruku, you get advantage, so you can roll it twice. Yeah, you guys all celebrate having a nice piece of scorpion, and nothing happens.
Oh, there's scorpion on the menu?
Yeah. I pull it.
Scorpion Death Beast, obviously.
I pull it towards the opening a little more, and I, using the spear, I cut off some pieces, and I'll say, "Can you light it up again?" I guess it's the tiefling who did it last time, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
it certainly wasn't me.
You want me to set it on fire?
Well, we need some warmth.
Yeah, absolutely. I would use my firebolt again.
Oh, hold on. Is it nighttime or no? It's still day.
I thought it was
No,
like
it's still daytime.
Oh,
Yeah,
then-
it's like in the middle of the day. Yeah.
Well, then I'm
if we,
just
if we
eating
want
it.
to, if we want to cook it so we can bring some of it with us, I could still set it on fire and try not to burn it.
I guess it might preserve the meat longer.
I mean, you guys eat it raw, so I guess it wouldn't matter to you.
Yeah, but the fresh meat doesn't last long. It's best to cook it afterwards if you're going to take some.
Okay, so yeah, I could definitely cook some of it real quick in some way. I don't know if you want me to roll something on that, Megan.
For cooking it, or
Just for cooking some of the meat to take with us, yeah.
Well, no, I was cast the fireball before. That's what I was referring to.
yeah, I'd say that if you, I'd say that if you take your time with cooking it, then that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so Freak would kind of, where the hole was one ripped out of it at whatever point, he would just kind of cast a firebolt in there, try to get a little fire going so he can cook the meat around it. Tear that out and take it with us.
Yeah. So after cooking that, do you guys head back out?
Is there enough? How much of the corpse is there after cooking it and trying to bag it up?
I would almost say just the carapace is left.
All right, never mind then. I was debating extract water. So
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, guys, don't you think that it would make sense for us to rest? I mean, we have shelter here in this little cave. You know, get some
Let's-
spells back, do what we need to do, you know? I don't know.
that's actually not a bad idea, is resting here for a bit. Unfortunately, I still won't get my spells back, but it's something.
Now, since we are resting, using just using whatever tools that we have, can I use the carapace, make something rudimentary like a sled or something that I can pull along if we have anything to carry? Because I said I can carry like 400 and some odd pounds.
It has a shell. Can we use that? Like its back shell?
Yeah, for sure.
Not that I, just because we have no equipment in, so 240.
And we did say we're taking a short
No.
rest, right?
I can carry 480. That's not even what I can drag along, which is a lot more. So, okay, yeah. So basically, yeah, just casually just scraping it clean as best I can. Nothing complicated right now. And just in case we have to carry, we're carrying some of the meat that we cooked and whatever else we come across. Now, in a fight, I might throw the spear. I didn't get a chance to this time. If I don't throw it, if any of you want it, just ask.
Okay.
I don't need it if I'm in melee. If I'm close up to it, I could just bite it. But if I'm, but it's there if I need to throw it at something. But hey, the arrows worked.
So you guys take a rest in the cave.
Oh, sorry. Do we have any water left in your skin?
In my skin, I believe I drank it all.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Did you use extract water on it?
No, because all that was left was the carapace, which I would imagine doesn't carry much water.
Fair.
So you guys rest in the cave, and over the next several days endure the desert and what it has to throw at you. You become sun-scorched, dehydrated, and starving. And just when you thought that all hope was lost, that you would never find civilization again, clouds begin to form, and lightning begins to strike. And you come over a rise, and beneath you, a huge cliff face. And as you look in the valley, you see what is known as Dire Strait, one of the cities of Kryphoth. And that is where we will end our session tonight.
We're in the
wanna
wrong
go to the city.
direction.
I want to go to the city. I can stay up a little while. Let's go check out the city. Come on. Yeah, I tell you that that system is very interesting as a player. I haven't played something like that before. Definitely gritty. You said Marquise. Was this where we got it from, or who came up with it?
The Blood and Grit, yeah. Mhm.
With the Sabari stuff. Was that his Sabari stuff?
I'm not sure. I think it was just
I
a
think
post
he
that
was
he had up.
Yeah. No, it's just a really interesting. It's a really different way to play it. It's really fun.
I
really
actually
grueling. I like it.
really like the blood and grit system. I thought that was really interesting, and then like a more like actiony type setting, that could definitely like really shine. I think, and it really shined here too. And we didn't even do a lot of action, but I feel like you could definitely play that up a little bit more in like like I said, more action-oriented thing. So that was really fun. I really like that. The setting, the rules changes were really cool as well.
Yeah. Also with the resting, it's like it was funny. The one with the most grit was the kobold, the quick foot, but it's because of his training. It's how much damage he can take. It had nothing to do with constitution. Now I'm guessing I have probably some of the highest con at a 16. I don't think anyone has an 18. So, sorry.
And I have 15, so no.
Yeah. So I would have the most blood, but I said it's an interesting way. The barbarian type fighter types don't have to have a high con if they think they can take damage, but we had no armor. Though I think actually all of us had. Did all of us have a higher armor class? Like I know the two Susuri do, and the cleric does. Oh yeah, you do as well, being the source, the dragon sorcerer. So we all had an armor class. It's interesting.
Nicker.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like this version of the tiefling too. It's different. It makes it more challenging. Like rolling right away to lose all of my grit right away, only having 7 blood points. It's kind of terrifying, especially when all of a sudden there's a desert hydra right in front of us. So,
why did you go after it? And Nicholas, you were attacking it too.
Because the point of a game is to have fun, and I thought either I would die magnificently or I would do something cool, and that's the point of a game to me, to enjoy myself. And picturing this little kobold doing all the shit he did in this game is a blast to me.
That was so great when the Hydra rolled a 1 on his attack, and I'm like, okay. That was awesome.
It's just fun, man. I know I don't play too often. I usually DM, and when I do play characters, they tend to be a bit over the top. And I thought playing a kobold that works really well. But in the supplement, Megan, the different backgrounds and stuff like that, they really do offer a very different way to play it. And we really didn't have an opportunity to be in a city or something like that, so the slave thing didn't come. But that would definitely be something that I'd want to explore further with that background. I think it offers a very different perspective on things. And this was pretty typical, kind of a hack and slash deal. But there was a lot more that we could have done with it, and I think that's pretty cool. And the playtest material was pretty cool too.
It's playing our characters. I think I could totally. I did picture the half of the quickfoot kobold. Yeah, he's a slave. You said he was a pit fighter or something like.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's how he was taught. Yeah.
Yeah, like not the gladiator, but very similar to that. Running around trying to kill or be killed. My character, having the background of Wastelander about surviving, it's like, okay, I'm going to hide. Why is everyone going after this thing? So, but he needed to protect. He knew he couldn't do this on his own, so that's why he went after it. It's like, I need them. I don't have to trust them, but I need them alive. Maybe not the tiefling, but the other two, yes.
Speaking of the tiefling, I came up with Freak as an NPC for my game that I DM, and no matter what I do, he just doesn't fit in my setting at all. And him being this kind of pacifist bookworm, even though he did a lot of attacking here, it's really cool to be able to flesh him out. Especially, he fits a lot better in this setting as being called a freak, because I picture the tieflings all just wanting chaos and trying to attack everything, and he's just like, I just want to read my books, you know. And again, with that Delver background, it just fits with him so perfectly.
Yeah, the backgrounds are good.
Having a lot of fun.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think I'm going to end it here because I want to talk to everyone here just a bit more, just on their opinions and stuff like that. Top secret stuff. So thanks everyone for watching. We had a really good viewer count the whole night, which is super exciting. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and have a good night.